Welcome to the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Just to clear some things up, I wasn't gonna necessarily go live today, but some things I wanted to check up on. Mainly the thing that's happening in someplace in Africa. I don't know, but and also I really want to study this guy. Um, well, I think he's one of the captains in Africa. I will call him the prince in that the real prince of Pan African. Um, Ibraham Troar'e. I really want to. It's a high time that we study our kings and queens and princesses and princes over there in the south coast of Africa. But meantime, in between time, this is just a review. I'm just doing some reviewing. I appreciate my baby stopping by and checking me out. I do appreciate the love. I do appreciate the support. Support the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Before I begin, I want to shout out to Mahogany Roots. Link up her. Um, I'm not computer savvy, but go and support Mahogany Roots and MJ. Go and support Brownie Ellie. She's close to hitting 1,000. Wow. Also, definitely hit up my man. Hit up my man D Darrell. I haven't heard from D Darrell in a while. I'm sure I'm sure he had a good time a couple of months ago when he was in Vegas. Didn't even hit a nigga up, but that's cool. That's cool. I know he was having fun at WrestleMania. That's cool, dog. I wanted to see Naomi. I wanted to see Naomi. I wanted to see Jade Cargill. And I definitely wanted to see Bianca. Thanks, man. Thanks. Anyway, just reviewing a couple things. And plus, I want to go over some bullshit on Matt Watsh. And I have not forgotten my list. I have started an actual list of Negroes that need to be kicked out of the black community. I have a list of if you have any I'm gonna start my own book of Negroes, okay? I'm gonna start my own book of Negroes. If you have anybody in mind, please let me know and put it in the comment section. If you have any people that you want to put in your book, put in my book of Negroes, please put it in the comment section. But without further ado, this is just some reviews that I'm going to be going over. Nothing special. Thank you for the support, everyone. Those who are here. And I guess we can definitely get into it. Let's go.
Like, look where his mindset is. That's why they can't even control America, and y'all get mad every time one of my people do something great. If y'all let anything happen to this man, I guarantee you, y'all gonna feel an energy and a rage like never before. Real talk, man. No, what's up with these Uncle Tom generals, 4-star generals, whatever you want to be? But I guarantee you, that general wouldn't want to look at me one-on-one in the ring. Real talk, man. If anybody repost this to the whole world know about it, if it happened to him, we go and give these people what they really want. The Babylon will fall.
Yay! The West is not ready. The West
Don't he
is
remind
so
you of Mr. T? Ha, Peter Fool.
ready for a revolution that is already stirring up within the black community. Like it is, ladies and gentlemen, it is my greatest honor right now to see Africans going on the internet and speaking out, lending a voice to African people, saying we stand with you. We see a great leader. We notice one. We see one. He sent out a message to the African American community, and then he said to our brothers and sisters, descendants of slavery, I want you exactly what Ghana did. Exactly. He said, I want you to come home. I am building a country where you can come back, motherland. You don't have what the West is feeding you. I want to make my country great, to look amazing. So when you come home, I give you free citizenship. You can stay in America, you can stay in Africa. If you feel like you're tired of the white, and always come back home. And literally, and Arabians like, I'm gonna show you the videos.
Show me the videos, please.
What, guys?
We are war people. They are warring against the African. An excellent brother, my little brother, Ibraham, Troar'e, Burkina Faso. They are warring against my little brother, that who has excelled himself in the order, the upright man that stand and put things in place for black people, that black people can see the truth, that black people can live properly, that black people can inherit the wealth of the land, what is there, that the black people can live more happy, that black people can be more better off than the old colonial system. Take off the old wigs that the old colonial wigs of throw them one side and put on new attire of Burkina.
Damn. This guy, and he's only 37 years old, by the way. Troar'e is only 37 years old. So he's the youngest captain of in that region. So that's a real good thing. And to lose him would spell tragedy for not only for the people of Africa, but for some of the people in the United States of America. I must study him more.
Faso, he built hospitals, he built houses, cars, and so much things that I can't even mention all. Listen, this is the brother who's elevating Palestinians. We must not let the enemy so wanna a man want to kill. What to happen on the hand? I watch. Say that before you go sleep and wait. It's not going to happen. Say in your heart, you live it. Black people rise. You help them, but also right now, I feel this insulting thing that a man doing good and you believe that France and all that because they want and turn it back into the colonial.
French is a bunch of assholes. I heard. Right. That's what happens when you sign your independence term. That's what happens.
Administration for your burn that red hot. You to touch Ibraham, all the law of the world. Remember?
Rastafari,
Rev the energy there,
Rastafari.
man.
Right,
Yes, yes.
right,
And listen,
right,
this is a message to France. This
Yes.
is a message to America. This is a message to all them European colonial forces that's aligning themselves to go against Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, no, this is not in the days of Patrice Lumumba,
Yeah.
Thomas Sankara,
Gaddafi.
and Nkrumah, Gaddafi, and all the people y'all killed them.
Yeah.
I feel like y'all
No,
get away
no,
with it.
no.
You see this one?
No, no,
I
no.
am
Touch the
telling
Lord's anointed.
I am telling you that this one, Ibrahim Traore, if you touch Ibrahim Traore, even if you in Barbados and when they got business in Barbados, it getting tossed over, it getting turned over because when a fucking wicked France, when there's a wicked set of fucking
Wicked
people,
fuckers.
and when they need to get disciplined,
Yeah.
and if you think that you're gonna go down in Burkina Faso, if you think that you're going to go in there and you're going to kill that man, listen, when they're going to see a judgment from
Pure.
France,
Yeah.
and when they're going to see a judgment from America
Good
that
luck.
you never ever seen before.
Good luck.
Listen, all black people, I don't care where when it is
Listen,
all over the world.
stop when they're
Like
doing-
my brethren just said, all black people should say, do not touch that man.
Yeah.
Let your voices be heard.
Heard.
Do not touch my Ibrahim Traore because y'all gonna bring sickness on this planet. You hear me?
Yeah.
And I for one
Yeah.
ready to go and fight.
Yeah.
I ready.
Listen, all
I ready.
make up.
Well, man wants to do for Africa what the people of America won't do for Africa. Obviously, I mean, free health care, free education. Jesus, where that? I wish it was over here. I mean, Canada healthcare is free. Oops. I think it was some dude from Cuba. I'm blanking, but I think it was who's the football player? I'm blanking. I am definitely blanking. I'll think of the football players or the ex-football player's name in a minute. But when he wore the Fidel Castro shirt, when he wore the Fidel Castro shirt, and he wore I think he wore a Malcolm X hat and the Fidel Castro shirt. They got on him. They got on his ass, but it's like your generals, your presidents here in the United States, not my president. I didn't vote for neither one of these motherfuckers. Only person that I voted for, and I regret not doing my due diligence, my research on Obama. That's my fault. That is my fault. I voted for Obama twice, and I said I will never vote for a president again until I research his policies and I look him square dead in the eye and I say, are you going to do the things that you say that you are going to do? And if so, what time and what length of time and how long of a process is this going to take? Meaning, our schools are being decimated by famine, disease, miseducation, our parks are. I mean, we're sick and tired of low wages. Some ignorant ass nigga gonna say, if you're sick and tired of America, why don't you just move? You a stupid ass nigga. But anyway, if this guy is help mobilizing the things that Africa needs, and if it's going to affect the rest of Africans as well as African Americans who are there, and possibly affect some of the African Americans here in the United States, possibly, maybe, I don't know, I need to study more, then why the hell, why is Trump and France and, oh, and don't be surprised if America and France get together to try to do something to sabotage this guy. Don't be surprised.
Placard, I show it. Don't touch Ibrahim Troar'e. Get even if you had to do a video where you saying it.
Listen, we ready.
Let them know.
We ready. When the
We ready.
when they could just run over black
No,
people.
no, 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 no.
I think they said because y'all been
Take these
doing
days of slavery.
you think you're
An anti-colonial African leader. For context, Ibrahim Troar'e of Burkina Faso is an anti-colonial leader who is following the footsteps of Thomas Sankara in decolonizing Burkina Faso and by extension West Africa. Proves the colonial nature of ethnic minorities in the United States. You can be African American and still go against the interests of Africans. You can be Latino, like Mexican American, for example, and be against the interests of people from Mexico, right? The US does this to its own ethnic diasporas. It turns people against their own communities, against their own origins, against their own heritages. And in this example, we are seeing, like I said, an African American in the US military advocating for US military intervention in Africa to uphold colonial values. The hypocrisy is insane. The betrayal is outstanding. Identity politics has put rose glasses on us to make us forget that the US does not care what color you are, so long as it gets to uphold profit and colonial practices.
General Langley, I see that you are making waves on these social media streets, okay? Burkina Bay people have sent me to give you a message. They said they are very, very happy with Captain Ibrahim Troar'e. They are very happy with him. They don't have a problem with him. They understand, but they are very, very happy with Captain Ibrahim Troar'e and what he's doing for them. So I thought I would send you this message in case there was some misunderstanding. Captain Ibrahim Troar'e also kind of understands why you threw him under the bus, and it was you. When he took this to free people, that based on history, based on what the West have done to their leaders, including Thomas Sankara, he knew that they were going to send you. So we were aware that you were coming. I just want to give you a little tip and a little side notes. It's not but Bay people that are happy for him. In fact, the whole of Africa have sent me. Yes, this is a very risky thing you are doing. Look, Africans are very, very happy with Ibrahim Troar'e to him. I hope Africa. So I just thought in your ear that next time you go in front of your masters, I have a list of people that Africans have sent me to let you know that you can go after those people. But my brother, in America, we are second-class citizens for do that. And Captain Ibrahim Troar'e, the system that makes us three-quarters of a human being. Say, you know what I'm talking about. The same test of a human being. The only way we'll get out of it is if Africa unites. Okay? Right now, the Sahel people have united. And as African Americans, Black Americans, is tied to the future of Africa. So my family don't do that.
Just know if anything happens to Ibrahim Troar'e, the international community will experience the largest African uprising it's ever experienced. You think that after many of us have realized that Europe has unleashed some of its worst sociopaths on our continent, look up King Leopold of Belgium. Look up what he did to the Congo. Look up, there are so many amputees in Congo. You think that after many of us, we're just going to roll over and take it? And just a fun fact, in case you didn't realize this, the majority of young people currently live in Africa. By 2050, the majority of people under the age of 35 will inhabit the sub-Saharan African continent. Okay. And rather than the international community creating allies with this new group that is coming up, this new generation that is very different, because not only do we know what the fuck is going on, we are not like our parents. We don't think that we're less than people in the West. We've been here. We understand how it works. Rather than using this opportunity as your redemption arc, y'all are doubling down. Leader of a country that's stolen so much, being a thief, this is the hill y'all are gonna die on. And you think that the new generation of African young people that are coming up are just gonna roll over and take. Okay?
African continent. We are standing with solidarity, Ibrahim Troar'e, the child of soil, child of Africa, child of unity. Sunday, 28th of April 2025. You are going to shut down any American embassy in any part of the country. No American embassies must operate this Monday. If America wants to intervene into Africa, we are also coming out against them. Must get out from our African continent now. This Monday, you are very good. You can be in Kenya, you can be in Mali, you can be in Niger, you can be in Nigeria, you can be in South Africa. You are going to shut down that American embassy.
And this is not my usual womb health, but I feel to lend my voice to the Troar'e. He doesn't deserve the president because he took it illegally by coup. Who cares? Do you know the corrupt, evil wiki was in parliament when he took over? That was stealing from the people. If you see some of the poverty in Burkina Faso, you have to say, do these people have a heart? To be able to see such poverty, yes, yet be piling money, these politicians, into their bank accounts and going abroad to be educating their children abroad, going abroad for medical care and private jets and all of these, and you are seeing the poverty of the people. Doesn't this... I can't even speak. You know, English is Englishing. The English is not English. My Ghanaian name now because I'm that enraged. This guy has come in less than 3 years, 3 good years. He has cancelled. He's paid off the nation's debt. He has touched business infrastructure, tomato manufacturers. He has produced his own gold. The farms, he's given them seeds, he's nationalizing. He's manufactures electric. If I was to say all the things that he's done, we'll be here till Jesus comes, the amount of things this man has done. And he's only 36 years old, by the way. And you, Trump, you orange-faced Trump, you want to come and arrest him. Arrest him for what? You're saying that, oh, he's a dictator. Excuse me. If you want dictator, I can deliver dictators to you. There's plenty of African leaders that are dictators. Why don't you arrest them? Why don't you arrest the president of Congo? Why don't you arrest him? Why don't you arrest some of these African leaders that are corrupt, that are plundering the country, that's allowing you to plunder the country, that's selling the resources for cheap? Why don't you arrest them? Why are you not fast to go and arrest these people? But this man who has revolutionized his country, who does that? On Mother's Day, he went to visit the widows, gave them hope, gave them money, to the point that the widows are protesting that they do not want him to step down. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm calling all Africans, Caribbeans, African Americans, Australians, the Aborigines, Native Americans. I'm just calling all of you. With Thomas Sankara, we sat back and we didn't do anything. We missed it with Patrice Lumumba. We sat back and we didn't do anything. We missed it with Gaddafi. Gaddafi, we sat back and we didn't do anything. So many leaders, we sat back and we didn't do anything. Don't let history speak ill of us. Let it be sent because of something. Whatever you can do, even if it's small, do it. If you've got funds, fund the government. You can go and visit them and give them your money, go and visit the country. Don't mind Trump saying, oh, it's a dangerous country and you could get attacked. What about America then? Isn't your country dangerous?
Who the hell takes Trump serious? Anybody? 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 Anybody take Trump serious? Do you take Trump serious? I don't. So unless he's signed, unless he signs a death warrant, which I don't think he wants to do because the man is not an expert at war at all. If he wants to sign a death warrant over the African, then that's fine with me. That is truly fine with me. But you leave it up to him promoting black generals to go up against his own people. You know how that goes. Kind of takes you back, doesn't it?
Come on, get out. Isn't your country dangerous? Visit the country. Yeah, if you can't visit the country, then at least forward posts, educate people, forward this one, forward other videos, put it on your WhatsApp, put it on your feeds, spread the.
I need to know how to work my WhatsApp app. What is that? Are we talking to other people from other countries? I mean, can we just do that on a regular phone or something? I don't know.
Awareness. Lend your voice to the struggle. Whatever you can do, it doesn't matter how small it is, do it. Look what happened when Ukraine went to war. People were changing their Facebook profiles to flags saying, oh, we are with you, Ukraine. Happening in Palestine. Why can't we do it with Africans? We need to demonstrate. We need to put our foot down and say enough is enough. We're not going to take this rubbish and this is going on. You have energy to fight Jollof wars. You've got energy for that. But you don't have energy to lend your voice to Ibrahim Troar'e, or you don't have energy to share and to post. My friend, no. This has got to stop. This has got to stop. We have to, Africans, we need to show these people. We need to show these people that you can't bully us anymore. The new generation is different. You can't do it anymore. Who's with me?
Bought the machines, and now he's building. Imagine,
that's
bro.
simple, right?
Bro,
just get it done, man.
I think I know how we as Africans can help Ibrahim Traoré and ensure that this is not just another one of the great leaders we've had try to start something and end, because we all want what he's doing. We all want that for all our countries. We all want to see a better world for ourselves here in Africa, in every country in Africa. So here's the thing. I spent most of my time looking at human behaviors, studying human behavior and how they associated with the different aspects of the matrix brought to play. When I say different aspects of the matrix, I mean social media, and by social media, I mean media, television, and all that, school and society and religion. I figure that out because I feel like that's what we all need to be focusing on if we need to create a different world for ourselves. Now, why is this important? Every time we have a leader in Africa who is actually making tremendous change in their country, there are always a couple of mishaps here and there, or misunderstanding, or like miscommunications that go down. What do I mean by this? The US and France are currently trying to take down Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. And we all know they cannot just get in there and just all over, because why? There's this thing they created after the World War. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. Now, they need to have a logical reason to infringe the rights of another country without the international getting involved. Now, they look for one and they play us. Number one, we always hear the narrative that an African country cannot manage its resources. It needs help to manage its resources. My South African sisters, y'all are very true. too familiar with this statement being thrown around because the apartheid and the white people in your country do say that a lot, that they're there because you people need help managing your finances, which you do not. Okay, now that's the first thing they're going to do. They're going to say there are resources that are being misused and we need help doing it. Number two, they're going to turn him into a terrorist. They're going to tell us how he's evil, how he's killing, he's shooting schools, and they might actually go an extra extent of putting people in that country to do those things so that that news can at least look realistic. They need to
Actually, gonna actually probably make a martyr out of him. Uh, Try to pin some things on him, saying that he's spending money on the wrong things. Um, Spending money for his for his security, for his protection, whatever. The man, according to sources, people in the United States tried to assassinate, or paying other people, quote unquote, allegedly trying to assassinate this man. They already tried to attempted one time to assassinate him, and this is one of the reasons why Senator Putin from Russia are joining forces, so he can have more military troops to protect his ass. So I mean, people pretty much guess it's like, why can't he get his own people? His own people tried to assassinate him. You know how that goes. I pay to white supremacy don't want to get their hands dirty. They do not want to get their hands dirty. So they appoint other blacks vis-a-vis William O'Neill, blah, 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 in between. You know how that works. To try to do, vis-a-vis Malcolm X, is to try to, Martin Luther King, and it goes on, and Nipsey Hussle. It goes on and on and on and on and on. When you throw rocks and hide your hands, we all want to blame the black man, but we know who really pulled the trigger. Okay?
divide and conquer. So they're going to divide the people and the leader and the rest of the world. So now you, very privileged white people, are sitting home saying, "Oh my God, I need so much help," forgetting that y'all are having at home. But my point, the tactics they use, the number three, if they do not succeed to do that, they will directly go for him. Now, how do I think we can change this? You see, we're in it's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new era. A lot of you are spiritual. I need every spiritual babes out there or man to give Ibrahim Traoré just one layer of protection. And I know you know what I mean by that. If you protect your energy, I know you know what I mean by that. Everyone, just give him one layer of protection. And I believe we will avoid option number 3, where they will try to kill him in a car crash or a plane crash or everything else they do. Now we have 2 options in our way that we do not know how to get away, or you do not know, because I didn't. I'm going to tell you. Here's what we have to do. We have to get loud.
You know how these things go. And of course, you know, you can shout loud to the gods above, and this man will still be assassinated. The only thing you can actually do is just to continue to support Troar'e. I am gonna continue to study, and I'm gonna continue to and possibly do my part in trying to the word I was going to use, not protect but support Ibrahim Traoré, because the people need it. The people need it. The people respect him. I respect him. it's about high time that we get the support. If we're not going to get the support from the United States of America, if we're not going to get the support for Trump, and I'm not talking about for those particular idiotic fools out there who believe that Trump's going to do something for Black America. I'm not for that. I'm for real government. I'm talking about for real leadership, real goddamn leadership. And if it comes from a different country, from a different source, who is in alignment with his ancestry, he is in alignment with his Africanity, who will support Africans as well as African Americans who live in that country, as well as our country, then I'm all for it. I am all for it.
South Africa back. And that's why a lot of South Africans don't see Mandela as a hero. They see him as a distraction from the liberation agenda that was already in play.
Wow.
Believe it or not, I've been invited to debate at the Oxford Union.
What?
In England, Oxford, England,
Wow.
with Brother Malcolm X, whose birthday is coming up, Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz, as you know,
Yes.
1964, a few months before he was assassinated, Malcolm was invited to debate at the Malcolm X first.
Wow.
Debating in that same chamber.
I don't know who in the world could debate with you.
Public, I know some of the brothers and sisters over in the UK was asking if they could attend, but I think it's only open to the scholars of Oxford University.
Will it be broadcast? You know,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to get a tape of it, but I just found it very timely.
Yes.
I got my invitation on the centennial, or near the centennial, because I'll be debating 10 days after Malcolm's 100th. But I find that, rather fortuitous that I got that invitation on the centennial of Malcolm's birthday.
That is so befitting. And I don't know who they could get to debate with you. I sure would like to hear that, because I would like to hear what they had to say. I know you're going to come with the truth, but I'd like to hear what they have to say.
And the topic is African colonization.
Wow. Yeah, they're going to be in denial. That's what they're going to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a good thing. And then I want to say that I'm very proud and very thankful to all the Africans around the diaspora on the continent, the entire Pan-African universe. 4 days ago, April the 30th, there was a massive global demonstration in support of Captain Ibrahim Traor'e, the president of Burkina Faso. Hands off of Burkina Faso, hands off the Sahel Alliance. And from Jamaica to Johannesburg to London to New York, all over the world, Central and South America, brothers and sisters, Canada, they stood in solidarity with our brother Ibrahim Traor'e, who I would say is the top Pan-Africanist in the world and the most relevant African leader that we've had in about a half of a century. And the fact that he's under, the age of 60 speaks volumes, not to, besmirch at all the character of our elders, but as you know, Bobby David, the older you get, the more comfortable you get, the less revolutionary you are.
That's right.
And so many of our leaders on the African continent are over the age of 60, and those who are under the age of 50 tend to be egotists, narcissists who only took over the country to serve a selfish agenda. Ibrahim Traor'e is much younger than 50, and he's clearly leading the country in the direction of the people's best interest. And what happened a few days ago, Bobby David, was the Afrikan commander, a house Negro, appointed by President Trump by the name of Michael Langley. He made some comments about Burkina Faso and Captain Ibrahim, where he basically said that Captain Ibrahim led a coup. Okay, and America shouldn't have any problem with coups because they have financed most of the coups in Africa. To the CIA. But anyhow, they said he led a coup and has taken the gold reserve of Burkina Faso, not for the interest of his people, but for its own selfish grandizing. Bobby, and every day, he eats the same food. And for Michael Langley, the AFRICOM general, to point him out and accuse him unfairly and dishonestly of expropriating the resources of his country, that clearly shows you that targeting.
Because they are an independent sovereign state, and they can't talk about coming there and arresting him for whatever reason. And he says that Russia is not, extorting them or exploiting them. They just friends with them because they are friends in trade.
Absolutely. And see, historically, what America has done is they did it to Thomas Sankara, they did it to Patrice Lumumba. They try to brand you a communist for having a relationship with a communist country. But America has relationships with Saudi Arabia. Are you Islamicist? No, you're not. So why can't you have a relationship with a country who has a different political ideology than your own and not be branded as a follower or flunky of that particular regime? The bottom line is America wants to restore Burkina. So now France out. France and America are allies. America wants those resources. If France can't them, America wants them, and America and France are going to work together to try to recolonize Burkina Faso. And to that end, comments were made. I think it was by the Prime Minister of France, please saying the same. He said that we are not need to be. That was a code word, Bob. That we are not going to accept Burkina Faso's demand that we leave. Although they're gone, we're going to try to come back in. We're going to try to overthrow him, and we're going to try to put. Also have to look out for France and America working together to try to recolonize Africa. Because see, here's the thing, Bob. And that is a concern for the white of this planet, particularly you and Belgium, because Troar'e and those other two brothers up there, President Goita of Mali and President Gianni of Niger, if that Sahel is effective in influencing and building strong strong, brothers who are focused on the best interests of the self-serving, that can lead to a constant African liberation, which is what Africa has always needed. Africa never had a continental liberation struggle. A revolutionary army, liberation armies to come and train in Ghana when he became president, which one of to him. Pan-Africanist revolution. But I just say all that to say about David, I'm happy for the brothers and sisters who stood across the world. Many of them are not Pan-Africanists. They have not really studied the philosophy and the greatness of Pan-African philosophy, but they still understood that we were African. And at the time that we have organizations in this country trying to influence our young not to identify trying that they are Indians, they're Asiatics, or they are indigenous to America and all these other lies. It just felt really, really good to see them stand up and recognize that they were African, and it just lets us know that the red, black, and green flag is still in full effect.
It's quite a shame that there are certain individuals within the black community in the United States, no matter where you are in the world, or no matter where you are in the United States, if you are African American or Black American or whatever the case may be, I mean, you have all these labels. You should be able to want to support those generals who support other people who look like you. But since they don't come from your lineage or whatever the case may be, hell, you can't even track your own lineages back past the 1800s. So let's not get this twisted. And you don't know who you're going to be able to, you're going to come across. You might come across an Irishman, and you have Irish in your family. You have uh, Chinese in your family. You never know, but most of us don't care. Most of us don't care as long as we get the bag. Uh, I understand that part, but money is not everything. Just knowing who you are, that's more rich in itself. That you know who you are as a person, and we will get. That will be the first step. We will get along much better if we knew who we are as a person. But most of us don't know who we are and don't even care to do the research, but that's quite okay. And plus, we don't care to support, like I said, we don't care to support other African brothers, other generals that are willing to do the work for you. What is Donald Trump going to do for you? What is Donald Trump going to do for you? I didn't vote for the motherfucker. What is he going to do? Tell me name one thing he's going to do for systematically for you as a black American, an African American. What is he going to do for you? I'm not talking about for everybody. I'm talking about for you. I'm not talking about for whites. I'm not talking about for Hispanics, Mexicans, even though he wants to kick him out the border. I'm not talking about for South Africans. He just moved on up in here, but he wants to move Mexicans out. I'm not talking about them. Shove them to the side. What is he going to do specifically for your satisfaction? What is he going to do? Can't name it, huh?
I know that they having a lot of propaganda and publicity about Ibrahim, and it's like I don't understand. I understand what they're trying to oversaturate him so that people will think that he is a negative when actually he's a positive. And I was really insulted when France had the nerve to say that Burkina Faso and Africa should be grateful to France.
It's unfortunate. That is such an unfortunate statement that the president made to the leader and some leaders of Africa, because France pretty much lives on the resources of African countries. And Traoré, really taking over as he's doing, and with the other two, the Sahel,
Well, it's not just French, but I digress.
Movement. They are afraid. They're pretty much afraid that things are going to slip off their hands, and they're going to become one of the poorest countries in Europe. Very statements. We are far, far, far past the colonial time when we everything. Not anymore. It's never going to happen. Not even today.
I know. France is talking about they the poorest nation. With the leaders, if we so poor, why y'all don't get out?
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Well, and why are we so poor? Because when many of the African countries received independence, and you have to put independence in quotes, but when they received independence, on their way out the door, France, Belgium, the infrastructure of those countries to make sure that even after all that exploitation, we're going to make sure that you can't even use the infrastructure we built to benefit ours. So they sabotage water support, sabotage the ships, they sabotaged the electricity system. They made it so you had to start from scratch without nothing, not to mention the neo-colonialist demands that they need. They continue to get the money the democracy. Like, they have never given their an opportunity to grow on their own. That's why they assassinated Patrice Lumumba. He said, we don't need you. We know how to do this ourselves. But because he didn't want to continue to be a puppet, same thing with Amilcar Cabral, same thing with Thomas Sankara, the overthrow of Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. They tried to do the same thing with Troar'e when they invaded his country, but he was able to successfully repel it. They did it with Walter Rodney. They did it with Maurice Bishop down in the Caribbean. This is what they do. You're going to do it the way we're going to do it, or we're going to unleash a barrage of propaganda that's going to have your own people thinking you're incompetent if they don't know their history. And that's why we have to know our political history, the ancient history of Africa. That's also important to learn. But what I find as I travel around and speak to students, even in college, they don't know the political history of African people. And specifically what I mean by that is I'm looking at 1950 until now. Do you know what has happened for African people and to African people everywhere in the world, wherever they are, from 1950 until now? And extending beyond that, I would say you should know the complete political history of African people from 1900 until now. A lot of our young people know everything about Egypt. They know everything about the pyramids. They know everything about the ancient kingdoms, but they don't know a damn thing about how we got to be where we are now. And if you don't understand how we got to be where we are now politically, you will automatically fall victim to the propaganda. A historically conscious person can never have propaganda used against them.
That's true. That is very true.
I have a suggestion. Why can't we just, I don't know, go at them one by one by one? I'm trying to be careful with my words. Just go at these people. Get it over with. So we can finally have to ourselves, and we can be to ourselves without all these extra distractions. I'm tired of having to, you know, I'm tired of having to have all these white folks having to overlook me because I'm either overqualified or I'm underqualified. There's always an excuse, but they will hire everybody else. But I'm ranting. I just feel that there's something that's about to be uplifting. The positivity that's happening with this particular person, Ibrahim Troar'e, it's giving me good vibes, right? Like, why am I even here? You know what I mean? But I don't want to think too far ahead. I want to think too far ahead until I get all my ducks in a row, right? I'm just, it was just last week that I'm just now hearing this, and it's like, okay, it's another general from Africa, okay. But it was something about him, it was something about Troar'e that gave me cause to pause, and I said, you know what? It's high time that I study this guy. It's high time that I study our generals from Africa. And I should be getting all my facts straight sometime by the end of this week. So today's Sunday. So sometime next Sunday, if I have time, I'll have a full report on what I need to know.
Africans don't know their own history. I think African Americans know African history much better than Africans themselves do. If you ask a Ghanaian some basic Ghanaian history right now, they wouldn't be able to tell you, but they consume everything. Europe.
Let's move on to my favorite YouTube person in the world, Mr. Brandon. Let's see how Brandon's doing. Even though Brandon's pretty much a hater, I mean, he is giving Abraham Troy. I can't even say the brother's name right. He is giving Abraham a chance here. Troar'e. He's giving Troar'e a chance here, but before then, he was on the fence with this guy. So let's hear what this brother had to say. I think this was about 2 weeks ago.
Paying attention to it. And once we do, there's all types of stuff that, because what if they go over there and you find out this guy TSM? What if you go over there and some UN or something go in there and they like, man, we found freaking mass graves. Then what? Then what? Y'all not gonna say, oh, our bad. Y'all gonna make up another lie. Oh, that wasn't Troar'e, that was somebody else. I'm tired of that. It's not the 80s, guys. We have the World Wide Web. We can find information now. We can dig deep. We can reach people in the country and get information. Stop being mentally lazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, information that they want you to know.
TSM.
Okay. Hey, how are you guys?
What's up?
Can you hear me? Okay. The thing is like about Troar'e, because I know very well the case, because like I said last time, my family from Mali and my dad from Senegal. This is the next country next to Burkina Faso. They can the same country. They just be all by colonized by French, right? Okay. And the thing is like the important things about Burkina Faso is like Ibrahim Troar'e is remind them Thomas Sankara. Do you know Thomas Sankara?
Yeah. He was assassinated by his own people.
Exactly. So Troar'e he became popular because like it took the same agenda and the same program that Thomas Sankara used to do. Because you know when Thomas Sankara got killed, he be replaced by someone called Blaise Compaoré. He was in the power for over 35 years, and they get rid of him. Okay, and now he's.
Let me ask you a question. See, this is the one thing. So Blaise Compaoré, okay, he killed Thomas Sankara. But the people of Burkina Faso, they love Thomas Sankara so much.
It's basically what they tried to do, because Blaise Compaoré was smart enough to make sure everything is. So basically, he took the power, but he wasn't bad with people. That's the crazy part about it.
But what I'm saying is this: if someone kills someone who you love, say someone kills your dog, you're not going to be like, well, the person didn't treat me bad, so it's okay. You're going to want blood. You're going to want revenge.
Yes, but the case is very special because like when Compaoré. Okay, when Thomas Sankara got killed, Compaoré was his what I can say, he was his best friend.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically what happened is like Compaoré took the power, but the people didn't realize Compaoré was a part of the coup. So basically what happened is maybe 15 years, 20 years later, they got some specific investigation. He got caught. 20 years later, be part of the assassination. But when Thomas got killed, Compaoré took over, people was happy because they used to say, hey, Compaoré is a friend of Thomas, so we're good with that. He got killed by French people. At least if Compaoré take over, it's going to be the same like Thomas was trying to do. But they didn't know Compaoré was a part of the crew in they know about it only on early 2000, bro. It's crazy.
That's exactly. So there was a lack of information, and I got you, Aunt Jones. There was everyone was in support of him. That could be taking place right now, but the only difference is, back in those days, there was not mass availability of the internet. Right? We didn't have the ability to jump online and be connected to the world in 10 seconds. Now that we have that ability, we can't keep operating the same way. There's an old saying, if you knew better, you do better. Now, when these overthrows take place, we need to be able to see what's going on via the internet so that the person who's taking over is legitimized in our minds. And they're not doing that in Burkina.
But I want to add something quick before I let some.
Whoa, spying on people now, or what are we doing here?
Burkina Faso have a country with with a double power. Okay, okay. A lot of people don't know about it, but Burkina Faso, they have the president, and they have also a king called the Mosi King, and the Mosi King is a secret is a secret governance, is a kind of king over there. He have a lot of power as a president. Ibrahim Traore is a face, but they are also he need to be confirmed by the king of Mosi because you know Burkina Faso was the Mosi Kingdom. The Mosi Kingdom, yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but the Mosi Kingdom is still powerful, and the Mosi Kingdom have their own king. Today you can research it online. Actually, the king he have his own office, everything, but he's not a face of the country.
Right. So Ibrahim Traore is like the political leader of the country, but the king holds like the cultural power.
Yeah, the Mosi King is over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know if Ibrahim Traore could be an agent of the Mosi King. Is he the Mosi King?
Maybe.
Yeah. So you don't know. So there's a broader dynamic here. I mean, he's the best thing. Didn't even know that.
Everybody to you is an agent. Everybody to you is an agent.
Yeah, but they don't know that. But yeah, Troar'e need to be confirmed by the Mosi King because you know, for example, if you go to Senegal, they got the president, but in Senegal also they have like someone called Touba. Touba is someone like is a spiritual guide over there. He have also a lot of power like as a king. So a lot of West African countries still have their own king since the colonialism. Before the colonialism, when the colonialists took over, they lost power. But like spiritually, they're still over there.
Right. Let me get Ant Jones.
Yeah.
What up, Ant Jones? Thank you for waiting, brother.
Yeah, what's good? How y'all doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm all right, man. Listen, y'all going down more rabbit holes than I can count, man. Now y'all talking about is a king over there and all of that, man? Listen, I don't know what's going on. But I just read a headline with Russia.
Okay.
Like not too long ago. But here's the thing. I mean, as far as what I see, I mean, he's putting on a good front as he's talking good. But this is the thing I'm trying to figure out. Is he a military guy or is he a statesman? Because
he's a military.
I would like to see a cabinet as far as even if you're a dictator or you a quote unquote military general, I think you need to have statesmen around you as far as, you know, saying how we do it over here. You know, saying have a designation for each.
Nigga, we have more dictators over here in the United States than anything. What are you talking about?
Each you know what I'm saying, like the agriculture department, the defense department, you know, stuff like that. And I'm not seeing that. I don't know. I think
does it work? Does it work that way in other countries versus the United States? What are we doing? What are we talking about? What you are used to over here is basically not going to be the same thing over there. It's like you have president. Never mind.
I think it's a kind of egotistical thing because, I mean, this guy, does he sleep in his military uniform?
Basically, what happened, like they have all that, everything you're talking about, they have it. Okay, one thing you need to know about Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a military country since the 70s. They never have a president, really. Burkina Faso, since Thomas Sankara when the colonialism from French ended, the military took over the power. So
okay,
basically,
but this I don't mean to cut you, but this the thing with what you saying it's a military country. How can you be a
No,
military country? How can you be a military country
they're
when
fighting.
who are they fighting?
They're fighting. They're fighting every coast. For example, like Burkina Faso, they have an issue with every coast because, like Burkina Faso, the communists, like they partner with Russia, but every coast is the next country next to it is a partner with France. So basically, Burkina Faso they need to close the border because, like, if they don't close it, France is gonna take over by another coup. So
Okay,
basically,
but
Burkina Faso, they fight the neighbor country like Senegal, like all of that. It's still happening, bro. It's not serious.
bro,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're talking about the Ivory Coast. I'm not worrying about the Ivory Coast. See,
Yes.
No, what he's saying, hey, Ant,
people.
wait a minute. Ant, what he's saying is the Ivory Coast is still in cahoots with France. So
No,
they
I
have this
understand that. I understand that. But you got 40% of the country controlled by the Islamists.
60% now.
Yes.
So why are you worrying about the Ivory? That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
Does the
he's
guy
fighting
sleep?
he's fighting
Go
the
ahead.
Islamists, but he's not winning against them. Everything
But
I've
that's
researched yesterday and today, he's lost ground to the Islamists since he's taken over.
but that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you're walking around
Yeah.
every
Because
day. You're walking around every day in your military uniform. Mind you, his
yes, because you
uniform
can
is
get killed anytime.
bro. Listen, your uniform is clean. If you're a military general, why are you not on the battlefield? That's what.
First of all, oh, first of all, oh my goodness. So it's just like playing chess. Why would you put your king and your queen in harm? Well, your king is going to fight for you. Why would you put your king in harm's way of everybody else? You fucking moron! God dang! His uniform is clean. So you just want to put him in the forefront and say, charge! How stupid are you? Stupid! So you want to put your general, your main there's captain and there's general. I don't know which one is highest, but I'm assuming that captain is the bottom of is a more lower tier. I think general is high. Let me check. Which one is higher? Which is high rank? Rank. Which one is high rank? General or captain? Which one is high rank? Military general holds high rank. Oh, okay. So, okay, cool. I got that right. So, why in the fuck would you put your general at risk when you have a captain, or however the fuck it goes? Whatever. I just people just people just see military movies like First Platoon, and then they go, oh, we got the captain here, and they got the general right there in the front, and they're taking charge. They see glory. Oh, we got to take charge because they got the general and the captain, and they want to take charge. Oh my god!
What I'm talking about. You're not getting me.
Because
So
no. This is what I'm saying.
that's why I came on here and asked the question, preface the question.
Oh, and by the way, I think that's not the only. They have multiple uniforms that they can wear. They don't just wear the same uniform. What is going on?
Is he a military guy or is he a statesman?
Well, the
Because
thing
you can't come off the battlefield just firing a machine gun and then just get into your cabinet and start making deals for the people. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and you're right, Aunt Jones.
Like, bro, if you're gonna be president, take the damn uniform off, put on a suit, and be president. Don't keep on walking around in a uniform.
What the what? Why does that bother you so much? I'll let the tape, but I just wonder why it bothers you so much. Even though this is just 2 weeks old, he followed up with another one, which we're going to be playing soon. I just wonder why it would bother you so much.
He's doing the same shit that what's his name, Vladimir Zelensky does. He tries to give this like I'm constantly at war type look, so I'm battling, bro. Once you decided to become president and then you suspended those elections 2 years in a row, you're president. Put on a suit and go be a businessman and go be a statesman and work out deals. Why are you meeting with the president of Russia, embarrassing everybody? You the only person with a damn military uniform and everybody else is wearing a suit. To me, that type of stuff comes off as unhinged. Like you don't have a really, like you're not taking that shit serious. Like it's a game in your mind.
That's what I'm saying.
Do they know how war works versus negotiations or treaties, stuff like negotiations and treaties and stuff like that? Do they know how shit works? Leave it to YouTubers. Leave it to YouTubers to become the experts in the military. I ought to get, I ought to invite the officer. Well, he's FBI, but no, he's more like FBI. But then again, he might have a military background. The what was his name again? Brandon. I forgot the person I invited. I should invite a military person here to give like giving examples of how shit works when you're in a process of war. I ought to do that because these people think that they're so-called experts, and if you're not fighting, then you're negotiating and blah 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 blah. That's like telling a five-star. That's like telling a five-star general, if you're working at McDonald's. I said that all wrong. I'm just frustrated right now. I'm just completely frustrated.
I don't understand.
Guys, I get what you say exactly, but first, no, you're right about it. But the thing is, like, first, this is a part of the whole brand. Burkina Faso, okay, Burkina Faso people, they like that. They like it. Since Thomas Sankara was the first dressing up like that. He was the first one dressing up like that. And the thing is, like Abu Troar'e, so he used to go over there in the front by himself. He used to do it by himself. He's come from that. But what happened is, like, as a part of the friendship and this patriotism, he like dressing up like them because people like it. That's what Burkina Faso people like, people want. They don't, because they've been betrayed so many times by people with a suit, they're sending back the country and they're tired of it.
No. You see. Okay, go ahead.
Basically, a lot of African country, they're tired of people on suit. They become conservative and they want more people like that, strong.
I'll get tired of people in suits too. But this is starting to irritate me. But
just real quick, what do you need a king for if you have no kingdom?
They do have a kingdom.
Well, I'm telling you, man, this is backwards. This is backwards, man. I mean,
no.
We in 20. Bro, listen. Where you at, bro? You in America?
Yeah.
Okay. See, all right. Listen. We in 2025. You know what I'm saying? You telling me the people of Burkina Faso, they like that. They like you walking around in your military. This is an outdated concept, man.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? If you're so you mean to tell me if you have a 1957 Chevy and you have all the kings, all the things that you need that will operate a 1957 Chevy. And if you turn the bitch on, if you got the right motor in it, if it's upgraded, if it has an electrical fuel system or something like that, and if it operates like a 57 Chevy, then bitch, in 2025, it's going to be a fucking 57 Chevy. If he wants to dress in military clothing, let him dress in military fucking clothing. Why is it bothering you so much? Oh, triggered. Ooh, triggered. Ooh, okay.
I'm not saying the man got to be suited. Let me finish. Let me finish. I know. Let me finish because you're not taking an outside step and looking at me. I'm an outsider looking in. It's an outdated format. I'm not saying you have to walk around suited and booted up, but do you come out of that attire and put something else on, or you're a military guy? Because if you're a military guy, you should be fighting the jihadists every day, man. That's what we need to see. We need to see pictures of you going at the jihadists every day. If you're a statesman, okay, you make deals with other countries, you know what I'm saying, and you move from that angle. You can't. You could do both, but you really don't have time to do both. You know what I'm saying? You either put a cabinet around you or you delegate the military.
Did Colin Powell do that same thing? We usually see Colin Powell in a military uniform. Did Colin Powell do the exact same thing? I would like to know.
To other generals and let them do that side.
Rest in peace to Colin Powell.
The thing, man. You're telling me about a king and all that. Yeah, y'all don't need no king because you have no kingdom. If the country is poor as hell, what the hell you need a king? You should have overthrew the king before.
Well, that's for culture. That's for cultural reasons and all that. But I want to give you an example of some of the ignorance that we be dealing with in our community. Somebody in the comments, and I even look at the name. Oh, it's recognized game. He said, "I've never seen George Washington in anything other than a military uniform." Guys, all one.
Oh, great. Now we got people from the Umar sector commenting in. Jesus. Oh, this debunks everything that I just said. Go ahead, Brandon.
Needs to do is Google George Washington. In the first 20 pictures, you will not. Out of 20 pictures,
oh my God,
you will see George Washington in a military uniform one time.
Nigga. Recognized game, just why? Oh my! No. I will not be doing that. Recognized game don't know shit from Shano, other than fruits and snacks that he be selling out of the back of his truck. Now I'm not knocking that, by the way. Get your money, but when it comes to all this, no, just leave it to the so-called experts.
Right here, to the right. Every other picture is George Washington in his suit, his presidential gear. So what the hell are you talking about, recognized game? You don't know what you're talking about. When you become president, you put down the military gear because you are a diplomat. You are no longer a person who walks in the room and represents fighting and aggression. That's what a military uniform represents. You put on your suit and you delegate that responsibility to someone else.
Exactly. But can you Google also Thomas Sankara? Thomas Sankara, you also wear some suit sometime. When you used to go to talking to French president, put it on. He used to wear.
I usually see him in regular clothing.
Some suit sometime. Even
yeah,
Thomas Sankara himself.
Military, dog. He represent that junk.
Yeah. Even Thomas Sankara used to drop the uniform.
I'll tell you this right now. The uniform is cosplay. It's just like when somebody, like when Colin Kaepernick, he wants you to support him. He wants you to think he's down for black people. So he puts on the leather jacket with the sunglasses, and he combs his afro out. He's given the imagery, because for some people, that's all it takes. Some of you guys are so enamored by anything that you believe to be a representation of strength. You see a gun on someone's hip and you automatically equate that person as being stronger, powerful. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, let me hear this guy with a translator is intelligent. If this man is capable to go toe-to-toe with these people diplomatically. I don't hear any of that. I don't see any of that. How do I know he ain't just getting in the room and Putin like?
Now let's not forget, this was 2 weeks ago. So what he's saying now is a little bit different than what he was saying 2 weeks prior. But I'll get to that in a minute.
Look, nigga, you gonna do X, Y, Z, and that's it.
But do you know Troar'e being trained in Russia and US, right?
A lot of talk, but when I am Googling factories being built in
here we go.
Burkina, all this stuff, I'm not seeing any of that.
Hold on. I want to get to this.
Well, he's been trying though, because that's why he went over there to Ivory Coast and talked to the Ivory Coast leader. That's why he went over there like 2 days ago.
So you have proof that he's trying to invade Burkina.
Yes, it's proven. It's already been proven.
Give me some citation.
Oh my goodness, it's been going on for. You guys just came about. You guys don't know anything about that area. You guys just talking based
what do you know?
on.
Well, look. This is what you do. Since you know we don't know anything. Since you don't know what we know, right?
No. The burden of proof is on you, man.
Wait a minute, IS. We got a brother who is from West Africa, who's from right in Senegal. He's saying what we're doing is smart. He's like, yeah, you guys do want to analyze both sides. You can't just get caught up in the hype train. You got to make sure that everything's on the up and up. You're saying, hey, stop even questioning anything. Trust everything.
I didn't say that. I didn't say don't question nothing. I'm just saying you guys don't have valid information about that place.
Bro, we are seeking information. We're seeking information. You don't have the facts of what's going on in Burkina Faso either.
Neither does you. You don't have the fact. You don't have the facts because you're just talking. Even that African guy, he doesn't know anything. He just come out here and talk on nonsense.
All right, listen. Okay, IS.
Yes.
Look, tell me what you know for a fact about Burkina Faso.
What I know for a fact from my own investigation that I've already seen through. You can go on YouTube here and tap it through what I know already.
So you did a YouTube investigation.
No. I'm saying you can go on YouTube and you have people that they're on the ground. It's telling you, it's showing you videos about the malls they just built there, about the vehicle
what they just built,
the malls, shopping mall.
I almost forgot that this is just YouTube. Not to take certain things serious, but if you wanted to be like a reporter, if you wanted to be like a news writer, I would advise people like this to do that of such and leave war and to the experts, right? But we're just on YouTube speculating some shit. If it's not reported on the news and we can copy and paste it onto our pages, then we don't know we just know specifically what we know based on what is being reported. We are not experts. We don't put on the uniform that we have to go to war every day. We don't have to put on the suit that we have to do negotiating every day. We don't do that. We're just a bunch of YouTubers expressing our opinions.
And the vehicles they have an electric vehicle they just build there, they sell it, you know what I mean, all through those nations. You talking about Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, they just build an electric vehicle that all three of these nations are using right now. They just built a tomato factory over there. You can see it, you can go on YouTube right here, you see that, you can see it on video. You can see videos of that right now.
Okay.
You see all those things
yes,
that.
but
Now,
listen to me. Listen to me. What? Can you hear me? Okay.
go ahead, man. We'll
So
listen to you.
what you're talking about, you got it. You think like everything is alright in Burkina Faso and what's going on is very well. I'm with you, but you have to understand something. When that went over there, it was a part of Afrikan. Do you remember when Barack Obama sent like to put a military base in Djibouti for Africa to supervise
It was in the jail.
Africa?
It was in the jail. I think.
Yeah.
I think it was in the
So
jail.
it's a U.S. military base in Africa. That's what
Yeah.
you're talking about. And so basically, when the U.S. go to Africa and they have a report from the general who's in charge of like the Department of Africa, they talk about Burkina Faso, but like Brandon said, and he's right, they're not gonna. That doesn't mean they try to invade Burkina Faso, but they just check it out and what's going on over there. Based on that
Man,
program
you
for
got to
Africa.
understand when
That's
Burkina
all.
Faso kicked out the French, right? The French can't do anything right now because the French is bogged down with we already seen Ukraine. Ukraine already sent their own terrorist group over there to attack. So we already seen that. So they've been trying to take that guy out forever.
What does that have to do with the United States? You're moving the goalpost.
The US and Burkina, they're all working together.
No,
France,
you're
all of them.
assuming that. You
No,
have
no,
no
no, no,
proof
no,
of that.
no. I'm not assuming anything. That
You
it's
have
the same
no
tactics
proof.
it's the same tactics they use against
You have
Gaddafi.
no proof that the United States is in collusion with France and Ukraine to take out Ibrahim Traoré. You don't have proof of that.
And don't forget,
Don't be surprised. Remember what I told you earlier? Do not be surprised.
Coach either, because that guy is a snake over there.
That's totally fine, but you have no proof that Afrikan is currently planning to engage with Burkina.
As a matter of fact, this was 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks ago, right? Didn't somebody try to assassinate him during the time that this came out? I gotta check my resources on
There's
that.
really no need. Afrikan is in countries that are making money, like Kenya, not Rwanda.
And just because they're making money doesn't necessarily mean they want more. They want the whole bit. Do we not know how power works? Do we not know how power works? What did Peter Parker's father Ben, or Peter Parker's father Ben? What did he say? He said, "With great power comes great responsibility." Right? And you have these knuckleheads. I don't even know who these people are, but we'll call them dictators, right? The dictators, they may have money, but in long term, they want your money. If you're making money and they're making money, they want your money if you're making a lot or a little. Excuse me. That's how the shit works. That's just how the shit works. Guess what? I may have $1 million, right? But I want to take your $1 million, right? And add it to my own and make you the most poorest son of a bitches on earth. That's how this shit goes, sir.
Like Kenya, Nigeria, and stuff like that. They're over there training troops.
Nah, they're over there training in some kind of T group or so, whatever you call them.
And Afrikan is dead in Kenya because I go there all the time.
I've been in Kenya all the time too.
And they have a huge base in Kenya, and Kenya actually got safer once Afrikan was in there helping them fight those Somali terrorists over there on the border.
You're gonna believe that?
No, I know. Wait. Okay, let me see. This is what I'm saying. We be ignorant on a lot of stuff. Before Afrikan entered into Kenya, you had terrorists. There was shootings in malls, car bombings. It was unsafe. Since Afrikan came into Kenya, there hasn't been any reports of anything that the terrorist related that has happened in Kenya.
Brandon, you can believe whatever you want to believe.
No, this is a fact that I know. This is a fact. Tell me the incident since Afrikan's been in Kenya, the terrorist attack that's taking place in Kenya.
No, Kenya has been saved before Africa get there. You know.
No, it wasn't because they No,
No,
it
no,
wasn't
no,
because
no.
there
It's
was
been
just a
safe.
killing.
It's
All right,
been
man.
safe for a long time, man.
All right, man. All right. So there was no killing. Wait, hold on. So there was no terrorist attack in a mall in Kenya.
Other than the Westgate the Westgate Mall that they attacked like years ago. That's only about 20 years ago, something like that.
And how
That's the
long
only
has
thing.
Afrikan been in Kenya?
It hasn't been there that long. You know what I mean?
Bro, there was a 1998.
No. That was before Obama came to power. Before that,
bombings in 2022. There was the terrorist attack you talking about was in 2000. There was 3 terrorist attacks: 2011, 2012, 2013, and 14. So there were 4. And then 2013 there was a terrorist attack. Since that time, that's when Afrikan came in and started working with the Kenyan government to keep the country safe.
No. Kenya has been safe way before that, man. Come on.
Man. Listen, man, I'm gonna say it to you again because you're not listening with your ears. There was terrorist attacks damn near on a yearly basis, leading all the way up until 2014. When did Afrikan enter Kenya? And that's when the terrorist attacks stopped. And then guess what? Kenya GDP went so high, it went from being a third world country to a developing country. So
no. That's not even true, man.
What we
that's
see,
not even true, bro.
You're wrong. Y'all.
Brandon thinks just because he's been to Africa means he knows the ins and outs of certain things. Which, I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, and the research is the research. However, how is it that you're going to tell a person who was born and raised in that area what it is, and you're from America? That make that make any type of sense? And I would concede to you that everything that you put out there is correct if you can prove that, versus a person who was born and bred in that area.
I could look this up. Since Afrikan came into Kenya, Kenya's economy has exploded because they no longer have to worry about fighting terrorists. Tourists going to that country by the droves.
Kenya, Brandon.
I go to this year twice.
Because I just came from there last month.
This year twice. What is your point?
Because I just you know why Kenya is safe? You already know. You know why Kenya is, it has nothing to do with Africa. Okay. You yourself know Kenya, everywhere you go you have security. Even if you want to go to the mall, they check you everywhere you go.
And do you know who implemented those measures? Do you know who helped
it's the government? It's the Kenyan government. It's the Kenyan government that implemented that.
Kenyan government working with Afrikan, bro.
No, it has nothing to do with African. It's the Kenyan government, bro.
But
for Africa,
well, yeah, but go ahead. Okay.
Can I make a couple of points?
Where bro was about to blow that car up in the middle of the CBD. TSM, make a quick point that we.
It's government. It doesn't matter how you feel in Nigeria from Trump. Have you seen that when they were sponsoring the terrorist group in Kenya? I mean, in Nigeria. You don't see that, right? Let's talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about it. But let me tell you this. You could talk about what USAID found, right? That's cool. But you know who did all that shit? The Democrats, who all these black people in this group voted for. So
well, who set up Africa in Kenya? It's Democrats, right?
No.
Who set it up on there?
No.
So it's the same U.S. government, though. It doesn't matter what party said it up.
It does matter. It does matter.
It doesn't matter because to us,
you're gonna say it doesn't matter because it doesn't fit with the narrative that you're trying to.
No. I'm not. Look. I'm a supporter for Trump. Okay, I like Trump better than Democrats, but I'm saying based on the government, the U.S. government, it doesn't matter how you feel it in. It's the U.S. government that set it up over there. So you know what I mean?
You're not gonna tell me that Africa is better with malls getting shot up, people getting blown up in Central Business District, and all that. You're being ignorant at that point. If it wasn't working, the African government, Kenyan government, wouldn't have them there because they're paying them to be there.
Is it there for other things, but not for internal security, Brandon?
Honestly,
no matter how you trying to fit in.
All right, let me. TSM, make a quick point, then we're going to Aunt Jones.
Yeah, honestly, I can't say the last 20 years, maybe 30 years, Kenya being well. Kenya
Super
doing
good.
well.
Well,
They
it's
have
not
been doing
because of
super good,
Africa.
honestly.
Okay. What is it because of?
Yeah.
What is it
It's
because
because,
of?
it's because of the Kenyan government, what they're doing. You know what I mean? So you already been there, Brando. You've been to Kenya many times. You already see all the security apparatus they have around the country. Everywhere you go, they got security. Even if you go to a mall, they got security. Even if you go to just a grocery store, they got security everywhere.
Who do you think trains the Kenyan military and police forces? Who do you think trained them for that anti-terrorism?
I don't know who trained them. I don't. You trying to act like if the US don't train you, you don't know nothing.
No, I'm not saying that. That's just the way it is. I'm not cheerleading one side or the other. I'm just saying, look, the United States is training them on their counterterrorism. So we got to stop painting with a broad brush, man. I'm telling you, countries are thriving because of Afrikan being there, helping them with their security. Why are you mad? If you're safe and the country's getting richer and the people could go to work and have a job and stuff, why does it matter who's helping them get there? I'm asking you that question. Why does it matter? IAS Productions?
US is the
All
one
that romantic black pride
I'm
shit.
asking you, IAS Productions.
If the US is the one helping them out, that's all good. It don't matter. But I'm saying in this case, it's not. If not the US, why say it's the US? That's what I'm saying.
That's who it is. So, listen,
Can I make okay,
listen,
Brandon? Let me just.
wait.
I'll just give you
I
this
just
one,
looked
okay?
it up.
Because
Wait,
I'm not gonna
I just
argue
looked
it
it
up.
up. I just looked it up. The key
Okay.
training parties of the Kenyan counterterrorism forces, the FBI, and Afrikan. And then there's another group called the Islamic Military Counterterrorism Coalition that works in connection with the United States, the FBI, and Germany. What are you talking about?
But that's you gotta give credit still to the Kenyan government though.
No, of course I give credit to the Kenyan
Because
government
the
for
Kenyan
having
government
the
don't want the
wisdom.
US that the US can't be there though.
Listen, I give Kenya credit for the government having the wisdom to say, you know what? It's been we can all agree that the tomato shit was funny.
Yeah, can I answer something now? Because you said he addressed me, so I wanna answer him real quick.
Go ahead. You got 2 minutes to respond.
No. I said the reason Burkina Faso, West Africa is the way it is because of people like Jones. You know what I mean? Because he's scared, he's run away. He said he's where now? He's in Ireland, right? You say he's in Ireland. In New York? Yeah. So where is he from? Is he from the island?
He's from Antigua or something like that.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. My family come from the islands. You know what I'm saying?
Which island?
My mother's from Jamaica and my father's from Antigua.
Okay, I knew it. I know enough about you.
New York.
So yeah, FBA Teta, you tell him to white people in there in
He's
America.
a TBA, dude.
Listen, I'm tethered to myself, man.
You tell them to the white people in America. That's what you're doing, man.
Listen, bro. Bro, I'll go over there.
You're on the FBA side, man. Okay, let me answer your question, man.
All right, let me answer your question. I'll go over there and fight with you, man. I'll fight with you, man.
You're too coward, man. You're a coward person, man. Go to Jamaica and free Jamaica from whatever.
Man, y'all dudes ain't going nowhere. Stop with the coward stuff. Ain't nobody jumping on no plane to go beat up nobody.
I know he's not gonna come over here. He's a coward, you know what I mean? So
Are you in Africa right now?
No, I'm not in Africa right now. I just came back.
Where are you at?
I'm in the US right now.
So why you said over here like you in Africa?
No, I was serving the US military over there. That's what I was there for.
Oh, the US military. So your bosses. So you're a disgruntled employee.
I was actually a Marine, you know what I mean? So
my God. Ain't it always these ones? I helped kill in the military, but I hate it. Like, stop.
To go to Jamaica and fix Jamaica. I did not tell you. I did not come on here and told you. You know what I'm saying? I intended to go fix Africa or Jamaica, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. If you got the jihadists moving southward for the last 500-600 years, you can understand the problem and where this is going. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that problem, man.
Okay, the only way to fix this problem is for that whole West Block of Africa to put down their pride and unite and take care of the proud.
Well, they're doing that right now. That's why they have the AES
Okay,
right now.
all right,
So what's
okay,
gonna do it? Nigeria's
all
not
right.
gonna do it.
I just think we need to unite with people who have common sense. I don't know, but people think their pride is it's based on pride. As a matter of fact, their pride is bigger than my pride. My pride is bigger than your pride. Shit, they ain't gonna even work. And this is why we should take the examples of Abraham Troar'e, because he's absolutely getting shit done. And if he's not getting shit done, then why does it take other resources from the United States and France, whatever, allegedly, to actually either take over the resources or try to take over the resources? To take over the resources, you got to capture the person who has the resources, number one, or number two, you just get rid of them altogether. And they already tried to assassinate him one time, or it was more than once, excuse me. So this is the reason why he's hooked up with Vladimir Putin. I don't like it, but if you need to bump up your forces and Russia says they'll do it for you for a penny on a pound, why not? Why the fuck not? And you are attending to continuously handle business in that region of, I believe that region is South Africa. I don't see a problem with it.
Because he's not gonna do it. Ghana is not gonna do it. So that's why they step up and doing it right now. So what's your problem with that?
I don't think he has a problem with it.
He seems to have a problem with that because he doesn't know what's going on.
I think you guys have this mindset like if anyone criticizes anything in Africa, they hate Africa. No, I actually love Africa. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life there, so I wanted to get in order before I end up stuck there getting freaking shot by terrorists. So
no, Brandon,
it doesn't work that way, Brand. Oh my God! Did you think my aunt has flown to Ghana and back several hundred fucking times, bro? It doesn't even happen like that. It doesn't happen that way at all. Every time she's come back, she's always come back with a souvenir, and she's always come back with a whole bunch of memories and a good time. And I will always be asking her, like, "What's Africa? What's Ghana like? What's Ghana like? What's Ghana like?" And she would actually tell me, "Ghana's great. I was named King Mother of that region." I'm like, "Wow, really?" She didn't tell me there ain't no shooting. They were bombing and shooting. I'm never going back to Ghana ever again. She wouldn't tell me that. The only reason why she stopped going was because of COVID, and she's 80, 83, 84 years of age. So, I mean, maybe she'll go back, maybe she won't, but until America gets their shit together, I think her Ghana ways are over. She could communicate with the people over there that she's having business with through communications over the phone or vis-a-vis a Zoom call or some shit.
They misunderstood me, okay? I'm not saying you hate Africa. I'm saying you guys spreading misinformation. That's why I'm here to correct that.
I didn't spread one piece of misinformation on this whole show. Please don't start with that. Learn to see outside of yourself. Stop centering yourself. I'm using my liberal talk now. Listen, man, I am probably one of the few channels that's actually trying to add some balance to the situation. I love what Troar'e is doing, allegedly. I hope he's successful. But also, I have to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, these days, you can't be flip-flopping. You can't put one foot in the Republican side and you got your foot on the Democratic side. I thought it was supposed to be balanced. If you're balanced, that means you're independent.
Where are those people who don't agree with them? Are they in camps? Are they in prisons?
They're all over the place. I listened to some of them yesterday. basically, if you ask all the Fulani people don't like him because I guess for some reason, you know, Fulani they want to take over Upper Nigeria and other areas. So
okay, so where are you listening to this at so we can tell the people who are watchers and they can go listen too?
I came across a channel yesterday on TikTok. They were talking crazy about him because they said he because I mean I guess the Fulani they want to go over there and raid, and I guess they part of the T group. Some of them, you know, just like in Nigeria when they go over there and harass those people in Nigeria, they want to do the same thing in Burkina Faso, but he's not letting them do that. So some of them don't like him for that.
Let me step in. Okay, I will take. You know, when you say Fulani people, that's very interesting because I told you, like I said earlier on the channel, back in the 70s, Sékou Touré did a Fulani genocide. He did that in the 70s. Maybe Troar'e is gonna fall in the same trap. Very be careful because, like, I
No, the
remember
way
a lot of
Troar'e is only attacking people that attack Burkina Faso. If you come over there with your little terrorist group and trying to attack that guy, he's gonna clear you out.
I don't
Same
think
way.
he's clearing out much because he's losing ground right now to the terrorists, 60%.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough topic. It's very tough.
But this is his definition of fighting, though.
Yeah,
Losing,
of course. You're just gonna sit there. Who's that talking? You're just gonna sit there and let people come over to your house and take over. You don't fight back. Come on, man.
You gotta have a dialogue, man. Let me talk. We can
Okay,
engage.
and you don't want to have a dialogue. So what you gonna do about that?
I don't want to
let me
just
come
say
over.
every time I say 5 words, you're just gonna jump in.
Because you're dumb, man. You don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, stop with the personal attacks. Let him talk.
Man. No, I'm too old. I'm too old for this, man. Let me have a dialogue. I'm trying to have a dialogue. All I'm saying is you're losing 60% of your country, man. That is not fighting, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not even putting up a resistance. You know what I'm saying? They need to reevaluate what they're doing, you know what I'm saying, and come correct, man. We in 2025, man. You can keep on worrying about
Again, we act like we know everything, but then again, what do you know? You're saying you're losing 60% of the country. Can you actually prove that without a shadow of a doubt? Through your resources? Let's see your resource. You have not pulled out not one damn resource. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting. That's why I don't use what they would call data. I use the eye test. I'm not putting on my clothes. I'm not spending no money to flying overseas to watch somebody blow their fucking head off. I'm not doing that. Just be happy for Troar'e, Abraham Troar'e. Be happy for him, and let's see where this thing goes. Jesus, do we have to boot you out of the black community too? Do we just have to boot y'all out too? In order, my goal, my ultimate goal, right? My ultimate goal is to have peace on this planet before I die. I want peace. That's what I want. But apparently, you're not going to get it on here. Apparently, you're not going to get it on here. But if you want actual peace for temporary for a moment, you can go outside on your terror, your fire escape, and just sit outside and just stare at the moon, only for a minute. Or you go down to your local bar and just have a drink. That's peace. That's only for a minute. I'm talking about for a lifetime. When is it we're ever going to have peace for a lifetime? We're never going to see that because there's too many dictators. There's too many naysayers. There's too many of this. There's too many of the data says we're too much into shit. I guess it makes for good content, I guess. But unless you have the proper data, and how many of these generals have you interviewed? How many? I have not seen not one person. I have not seen not one person that Brandon has I mean, respectfully, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Has he interviewed in the past 10 years? I haven't seen it. Now, he may not be a general. Dr. Umar may not be a general, but I interviewed him not once but twice. He's a scholar. How many scholars have you interviewed? Just for example, how many scholars has this person interviewed? How many social workers have you interviewed? Like real licensed social workers, not those fake ones from around the corners. Like, you know, I believe they call them winos, stuff like that. Good content is, in my opinion, is having the ability to make the best content by having quality, not quantity, conversations with certain individuals who have actually have experience in knowing the stuff that they know, due to the fact that they've either been in the field, they've been in the field and or have been in the military, or have actually has done certain work in their community, and it's giving an uprise to the people within their community as well as outside of their community. That's good content to me. It's not this going back and forth and yelling and screaming into one another and calling each other names. That's not content to me. Not saying that Brandon is doing it, because Brandon knows his shit, but sometimes it can be a little ignorant, and give or take, he's been to Africa before. It's my turn now. But I'm just saying, your take on Ibrahim Troar'e is kind of shaky at best.
The French, but the French left on their own will, man. France ain't your problem, man. Your problem is them is
guess who's sponsoring the T group? Guess who's sponsoring? Where they get their weapons from? Who's giving them weapons to go fight?
Let them finish, man. Let them finish.
We're having a conversation, Brandon.
But you had your listen. But you talked uninterrupted. Now he's talking, and you're interrupting him.
No, he was interrupting me too. So
no, you talked for a long time, and he said
it's a back and forth conversation, Brandon.
Let him finish his statement, then you can give your statement. That's back and forth.
Childish, bro. This is a microcosm of the black culture, man. Globally, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not part of no black culture.
Well, take your black ass onto the white culture then. I get sick and tired of these people, bro. I get really sick and tired. You about that close to being, well, you ain't nothing of importance, so whatever.
So I'm not a black culture person.
See, this is why I'm telling you, man. I'm jumping ship, man. I'm gonna come back here in 10 years, man.
I'm glad you said that. I am so glad you said that. Bye. You don't even have to come back in 10 years. Bye. We don't need you. Bye. Go over there. Since you have such a problem, since you have such a big ego about Black America and how it is, and certain people live within the African construct of America. You know, the people that come over here to America and they get criticized by FBA, and I don't know if it's FBA or not, but I am so glad you said that. I am so glad. I don't even have to put you on the list. You're gone. You said it. You're gone. Goodbye. Bye. Even though this is 2 weeks ago.
Yes, I ask. Out of respect for the audience, you need to let them talk.
No, it's the respect for you.
This guy
let the conversation breathe, dude.
Yo, like Hustle Smart said, man, this man is a sugar boy, yeah. Come on, man. Listen, man. Let me tell you something, man.
I'll tell you.
In 10 years, you're gonna lose 90% of the country, man. You see, you're all over the place, man. You're not understanding the concept, man. You might not like me, and I might not like you. But if we can put our head together and fight these jihadists, you know what I'm saying, and push them back to the north, as far as we can, it'll be better for the whole continent. That's my whole starting point, man. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I have no problem with Troar'e. You know what I'm saying? I think he's doing too much at one time, man. You have to pick and choose your battles. You're either going to stay on the military battlefield or you're going to be a statesman.
Once again, we're telling a grown man that been there and done that versus a person who sits on his couch and eats. Never mind. Never mind. This is some pathetic shit.
A good leader not only, you know what I'm saying, leads the people, but he appoints proper people around him, you know what I'm saying, to do the jobs that he can't, man. That's how you gain power. That's how you maintain power. You know what I'm saying?
What I'll tell you, and we got to let Robert talk, guys. What I'll tell you is this: in August of 2024, 200 people were killed. So basically, Burkina is top 3 in countries that are impacted by terrorism. Just in August 2024, 200 people were killed by a terrorist attack, soldiers and villagers in one terrorist attack. They killed 200 people. Ibrahim Traoré vowed a determined response against the terrorists. Something is there's this funny little thing in the back of my mind that says this guy's is in over his head, right? Because it's like, you're a soldier, you're losing ground to Islamic extremists, you got everyone saying you're a dictator, you're telling people to go protest and show how much they go show support for you. Like, bro, if you take over that country, I want to see them reported, bro just wiped out 5,000 terrorists in 1 week. I want to.
That's the problem. The man ain't been there, but he's just now taking over, and you just want too much. You want way too much. I said that I was gonna. Now this is what, 9 days ago. We'll get past all the other dumb shit.
Ridiculously gonna happen. What you should say, Range Roll, is if we as African people globally do what we are supposed to do, then Burkina Faso has the potential to look better than Dubai in 20 years. That's what you should say. But you're speaking these things like it's a foregone conclusion. And people were saying this stuff about African countries even 10 years after African countries gained their independence. But do you know how Dubai got to the point where it is today? Middle Eastern, Western, and Eastern billionaires, large conglomerates invested in Dubai to build it up to where it is right now.
Well, before then, they built it themselves brick by brick. But what's the point? The point is that if now you African people and African Americans that come together, I get that, but you have a slight problem there. You got too much of us separated. Maybe, just maybe, if you get rid of the FBAs, if you just set them aside and you get some Adolfs, maybe, to join the righteous cause, our righteous cause, to building a Dubai like type. I mean, we'll never see it in our lifetime. If we started right now, we would never see our version of Dubai in our lifetime. But our children's children's children will absolutely benefit from us building it, well, us designing it in it and building it, and then of course we'll pass on, and then our children and their children's children will have will bear the fruits of thy labor. But we have to have some very strong, positive brothers and sisters willing to do this here in the United States and in some parts of Africa. But can't really do that too much. I mean, I'm telling you this. I blame FBA for this, for the division. I mean, for more the division. You're pouring more log into the fire.
But it all started just like any other investment opportunity with regular people putting faith in of that to grow to what it is right now. If we're going to stand in solidarity with Ibrahim Traoré, President Troar'e, why stand in solidarity with them with our wallets? That's really needed right now. Let's be real. Oh, G. Jackson, I heard Burkina Faso. I heard of Burkina Faso. See, you don't know your history, so therefore you think everyone else doesn't know. But we know. You know he was killed by Blaise Compaoré, right? We know. What are you talking about? We're Pan-Africans. It's our duty to know these things. Don't ever come at me about my history, because I know my history well. But what I'm saying is, history tells us that there has always been a lot of fanfare with the appointment or the rise of a new African leader. But you know what history also tells me? There's never been much investment. There's never been a lot of.
And this is where I would say that I would halfway agree with Brandon on this one. I'll halfway agree. Because if we don't invest in what Troar'e is doing, then we don't. What are we investing in? We're the number one money makers in the United States of America. We're the number one consumers, not investors. We're consumers. So what are we consuming? A whole bunch of junk that we don't need. I am an advocate of that, and I don't mind investing in stuff that makes sense. I don't mind that at all. But I also hold myself accountable. I don't know about anybody else. I hold myself accountable for not investing long term. Wait, I take that back. I have invested long term in Umar Ifatunde's FBA school. I have invested long term. I gave a lot of my money into that school. Not as much as I want to invest, but it was more than enough, way more than enough. But you need to pour in more. You need to pour in more because we need to build more schools. I mean, put Umar Johnson to the side. You need to build more schools. Build more schools for African Americans. I'm getting real sick and tired of these infiltrators coming in and saying this is not fair. This school should be for everybody. Fuck you. This is our stuff. You Chinese American. You don't go to Chinese Americans and say it should be a school for everybody. No. You don't go to Chinatown and tell Taiwanese, or you tell these people that these schools should be for everybody. Fuck you. It's going to be my school and my school alone. If I've built it on this here soil, and this is where Umar kind of like, kind of messed up at. But then again, he bought the building, so it is what it is. If he would have bought the land on there, nobody could tell him shit. But he bought the building, and still nobody can tell him shit. We need to invest in each other, is what I'm saying. So I would agree with Brandon on that.
The money to back up all that celebration and hooping and hollering. And we have to do things different if we truly want things to be successful. Reggie Jackson, you live there. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What does that have to do with us investing in that place now? Identifying potential investments and taking advantage of it. Because what we know about Burkina, they need capital. That's why they deal with the IMF, because they need capital. You realize that the country just had to make an agreement with the IMF for a measly $7 million? You're telling me that, shout out to my boy Dewan Osborne. What up, my brothers? Long time. Watching on Facebook. By investing, or are we only giving the Israeli Defense Forces? And you know what their people did? They donated multiple millions of dollars so that they could have impact on the situation, even from a distance, right? I'm just really asking you. Now, some people will say, oh, you were dissing Ibrahim Traoré. You know what? I start off like, hey, yo, Ibrahim Traoré is a dictator. I did start off like that. That's okay. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to give him a chance. He said he was going to hold elections. He didn't hold them. He suspended them till this year. I said, you know what? I'm going to give him another chance. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt like we give the white man. I did that. I did that right here on this channel. So I said, you know what I said? It was so crazy. And you guys might remember. I did a show on him. I said, whatever my brother Afrikan tells me, whatever his verdict on the situation is, I'm going to adopt that position because he's someone who is thorough. He's someone from the region. He's tapped into what's going on in that area. And I know he calls it down the middle. He's an objective source. And bro came onto this channel and told me, Brandon, give him a chance. There's a lot of reasons why he's doing what he's doing. Just be patient with him. He's going to make this thing right. It's going to be a success. And at that moment, that's all it took for me to say, you know what? Okay, that gave me the faith in the situation that I need to now make the video today that I'm making. You guys, okay, so we're supporting, right? But are we really supporting? Because the things you support, you give your money to. You know those Negroes, those FBAs, they support Tariq. That's why every time Tariq does a movie, a fake documentary, or want to open up a donut shop, they send millions to him. At some point, we're going to have to start putting our money where our mouth is. We are in 2025. We donate millions to niggas that are obviously guilty of crime. Talking about we just want to make sure they get a fair trial. Well, why can't we donate those millions to Ibrahim Traoré? So that we got another place to go to invest and take our families. That's my question to you.
That's a good point.
We got the bread. So why aren't we doing it? I got Avalon 19. This dude's brain is colonized. So me saying that we should support Ibrahim Traoré with more than just lip service, but put our
FBA. I just look at it and I can read it and I can automatically tell it's FBA. How do you not know the difference between terrorism and oh my God.
money where our mouth is and start looking for investments in Burkina Faso? That's me being colonized. Me saying that Black America has the economic power to prevent Ibrahim Traoré from having to take $37 million loans from the IMF. That's me being colonized. Avalon, make it make sense, bro. That's not colonization. That's expectation. That's me inciting our people to take accountability, take responsibility for the things that we want to see. They just found 50 billion barrels of oil in Burkina Faso. Even better. Can we invest in that, getting that out the ground? Or is this guy going to end up having to go to Russia or China or America or whatever country to extract that from the ground? Guys, we're like on the ground floor of the creation of a multi-trillion-dollar business conglomerate. And instead of like taking advantage of it and like getting on the, instead of being the tip of the spear going into that situation to see what we can do, we're just sitting back. We still celebrating. We still cheering. Let's move. Let's make a move. What are we waiting for? You guys are talking.
We're used to seeing some type of, some type of success. We're used to that. But we have to realize it's not over. It is not over by any means. Still have a lot to do and so little time to do it. But I get why Africans would be cheering and celebration just for a moment, even if it's just for a moment. And then after that, snap back to reality. Let's get more work done.
Totally sold on it. I've been persuaded to support it. Where's the investments? Where's the investments? Frank White, we got African liberation before Grand Theft Auto 6. Because we're not going to be able to Black America and the Black.
No. I looked at the trailer for Grand Theft GTA 6. It's the same thing as Miami, or is it GTA Miami, whatever that shit is. If it was San Andreas type shit, I would have bought that bitch a long time ago. I would have pre-ordered that shit a long time ago. But the point is, like, look, good example, right? If you're gonna pre-order GTA, why don't you just hold off on that? Because, I mean, it might. Let me tell you. Sidebar. I went to GameStop last night, right? There was a line for Pokemon. Some game that's coming. I'm like, if we're willing, because I was a victim of this a long time ago. I stopped doing it because I stopped caring. If you're gonna be in a line for NBA 2K 2030, this is for example. If you're gonna be in line for that, if you're gonna be in line for Madden, if you're gonna be in line for the next Street Fighter, or if they come out with Street Fighter / this / that, or if they come out with another Devil May Cry, I'm just giving examples. But if you're gonna be in line for that, and there ain't no lines at the library, if the next Jordan 11, which if you're gonna be in line, if you're gonna be in line for that, if you're gonna leave in line for the next pair of Jordans that are coming out, whatever color they are, whatever number they are, let's be in line for giving out, our money and our resources to things that matter. You've tried this, you've done this, been there, done that. Now let's do this. Let's support this man who is absolutely doing the work in Ibraham Troar'e. Abraham Troar'e. Let's pour our money and our resources towards him. I wouldn't care if you gave Umar another dime. If you gave your money to Troar'e, that would be perfect. That would be so perfect. Let's do that. But you won't.
People in the West. We're not going to be able to sit in this position for much longer. Every single day that we sit and do nothing, we lose momentum. Why black move? We allow that to be destroyed by people that's back on the plantation of begging the white man for reparations. We allowed that to happen. And you know why that happened? Because we got stagnant. We had a little success, and then we said, okay, everything's all good. Tariq Nasheed, all these con artists swooped in, and the message became reparations or else cut the check. It went from being live black, love black.
Yeah, you ain't getting no reparations. Just that. You ain't getting no reparations. The only time the only way you're going to ever get reparations is through blood, and you're not willing. You ain't about that life.
Buy black companies making every single essential item that you need in your day-to-day life overnight went bankrupt because black people were tricked, duped, conned into prioritizing a handout that was never coming over black economic independence and strength and infrastructure. We lost it, guys. We lost it. We gave it up, actually. Now we know the reparation stuff ain't happening. So since we threw away the Buy Black movement, we failed to acquire reparations, what's the next thing we need to go into? See, but there was a group among us who were Pan-Africans who were able to call this mess from the very jump. We were down with the Buy Black movement, but we said we need to start moving those supply chains, extending them from America to Africa. That way, either consumer base and a creator base, in case the sentiments in Black America change, we will be able to keep this movement going strong. We move too slow. We barely missed the year return of because Black movement basically fizzled out around 2017, 2018, 2019, boom, year of return popped in. We were this freaking close to realizing the dream of Marcus Garvey and the other Africans of spending 5 years in darkness from 2019 all the way to 2025, where part of our community said, you know what, let's do the year of return. Let's go back to Africa, go over what's going on, identify investment opportunities, and take advantage of those investment opportunities. But there was a half of us, a remnant of us, that was left behind, who said, instead of doing anything with Africa, damn Africa, we ain't African. What has Africa ever done for us? Instead, we're going to go on the internet. We're going to join a Z.
Yeah, and I do hate that shit. First of all, you don't know who y'all. You just go by what some dude in a mink slide suit tells you. Yeah, and some woman that's living in her basement with a jacked up haircut. Um, what that person says to you, and you just falter. Now you got a few Negroes with with podcasts or whatever claiming that they're FBA. You don't know who you are. Ain't attention, but pretty soon they're gonna have a rude awakening. It would be in their best interest to stop all the nonsense and just come together as one. You can get along to get along, and or we can just, well, when people get tired, put it this way: if I get tired of you, I'm either not going to speak to you and or try to get rid of you. Try to do it the legal way, not the illegal way. Um, don't worry. I have a list of people that we need to get rid of in order for us to have peace here in America. Since you want to throw your resources to white folks and try to give away our secrets and do all this other type of shit, since you want to be so apologetic to white people, please, by all means, escort yourself out. I had some dumb nigga in my comment section the other day, so when I told them to get, basically, if you don't want to be black, get the fuck out. He had the nerve to comment, get out of where? Get out of where? We don't need these people. I'd rather argue with Brandon all day. I'd rather argue with Brandon, and we break bread all day, bro. We would break bread all day. I hate him, he hate me. Or I don't want to use that word hate. I dislike him, he dislike me, and we'll still break bread, and we'll be living life of luxuries. You know what I'm saying? Versus some nigga that just gave up entirely. I'm black fatigued. I'm so sick of black people too. I'm so sick of black people. But you're married to a white man. And you're a black man. Ugh. That's the ultimate sin. And to you Negroes who love white women so much, you're committing sin, right? It's called misogynist. I have to look up that word, but anyway, I'll tell you later. Let's continue.
Xenophobic hate cult, and we're going to agitate and antagonize other groups of people, as well as our own, in the name of receiving or forcing the government to give us reparations in the form of cash payments. It never happened. I refer to those as the 5 years of fighting for some.
Yeah, you got some. I almost forgot. You had some old guy talking about, man, we gonna sue Umar because he was talking about our reparations. I hate to have to do that to my elders, but damn that. Our debt is called a debt and it's old. They don't have to. The world don't owe you shit, sir. If you want something, you're gonna have to take it. Matthew chapter 11, verse 12. Heaven be suffered violence, and violence be taken by force. Sometimes you're gonna have to do the ugly thing to be at peace with yourself and be at peace with your family. Sometimes you're going to have to do some things that you will regret doing, but ultimately you ain't about that life. That's why they laugh at you. They completely laugh at you. You don't know who you you are. You keep calling yourself a Black American. You keep calling yourself an African American. What's the hype in that? It was Marcus Garvey that even said, if you drink from the river of Western civilization, you're gonna die from the thirst of it. You're gonna die.
Something that was never gonna happen, and basically gave away everything, threw caution to the wind, because we're so certain that these nations only and left holding the bag in the end, while the people the way to the bank, these were your Tariq Nasheeds, your Dan Calloway. Now we're in a situation where
Dan Calloway, he's still stuck in his goop, and he's still stuck in his ways. So we try not to play that Negro no more. Oh, Dan Calloway. Thank you for reminding me, Brandon. He's on my list of the Book of Negroes. Don't worry. Part two of Get the Hell Out is coming up real soon.
We understand that reparations is not coming. So we need to devise a different economic strategy. But instead of the work of devising new economic strategy, we getting old. We ran our beard now, y'all. When we started this mess, we didn't have no king. Time is ticking.
All right.
Whether you like it or not. Is this the time to retreat back into ignorance? Is this the time to say you got to get something? I'm full of energy forever. I'm not going to be able to sit in front of this laptop and give it to you with the vigor and force now off something. We enjoy it. I don't want to be walking to Africa, walking off the plane on a cane, punched over an old man. Oh, I finally made it home. So we can live up to what Africa's a graveyard. Africans go live in the West, get money, do everything, and we only go back to Africa to die. Remember that? I don't want whoever said it. I don't want their words to be true.
Look, again, if we get our shit together, even if 90% of us are agree on how to come together on things, build things through our money, through our resources, we're not going to see it. We're not going to see a Dubai-like type city. We're not going to see it in our lifetime. We're just not. And possibly the next generation is not going to be able to see it, but it's going to constantly keep building and building and building. So our African brothers and sisters will be able to thrive through the fruits of our labor. We're doing God's work, ladies and gentlemen. We are the original Black man and Black woman. Right? Enough with all the petty shit. We are the original people. We are the original Jew. We are the original Hebrew. We are the original Israelite of this earth. And yet we still have our differences, all because of some white supremacists say that, always leading us astray and pointing the finger and saying that person, that Black person said this and said that, the informant. And the next thing you know, we're fighting each other. All because white men. Have y'all seen Sinners yet? See Sinners. Sinners is the perfect example. I seen it yesterday. It was better than it was the first time I saw it. But the point of the matter is, you gotta stop pointing the finger at each other. You have to stop pointing the finger at each other. What can we agree on? There's too much disagreeing. What are the things that we can agree on?
I want to be over there while I'm still young and strong. While I'm still able to lift up a sack of corn so I can work on building my own house and my own this and my own that. And farm my own field and pick my own fruits. You know, when we get the orange farm going. Why are we sitting here on our asses knowing exactly what we need to do, but waiting for someone else to do it? Someone who is nowhere near in a position to do this on their own. I already see ignorant people. Troar'e doesn't need your coins, but he's taking the IMF coins. You sound stupid, Sheppy. Your name is stupid too. This is what I'm saying. If he's the man that we say he is, I believe he will welcome our support.
We will see. Well, enough of that. Let's move on to the next project. Mahogany just left. Damn. Mahogany was talking about sex over there. And then I go on to, I was like, oh shit. And I go on to the live stream, middle of live, they got some black dude talking to a white dude. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is let me Mahogany a freak. What the hell? I'm just playing. Oh my god. Mahogany, you gotta talk again.
What? There is no agenda. And the inference that all this is systemic racism and it's just so hard. Draymond Green, what was it, 2 years ago? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, ruined the Golden State Warriors start to the season by punching Jordan Poole, and it's on video, in the face.
Even though I can't stand Draymond, number one, he graduated from Michigan State. I hate Michigan State. As an older adult, if he were to get sodomized, I would support him. If I would support him regardless of what high or college he went to. Again, which I can't stand. He's a more older, more wiser gentleman. I mean, he's playing a game that's a brutal sport, but it's softening up by politics. Politics got in the way, and then, of course, he's been fined. He's been this and he's been that. Now it feels like he's about to be ostracized. I feel that they're trying to get rid of Draymond. I was like, for what? He's what, a four-time world champion? Why are we going after this brother?
In practice, ruined their season. Draymond Green's on-court behavior, all the fights, the kicks, the dirty plays. This is his brand. This is the image he created of himself. And now he wants to complain about it. Hey, I'm not cast in the right light. I'm a successful black man. I'm tall and play basketball. I have a family. I cracked a joke that some people didn't get because, and again, I got to be careful with my sarcasm and self-deprecation, but I'm just like, I cracked a joke over X over the weekend that, you know, I'm tired of being portrayed as an overweight black man. And I'm like, well, who's doing that? I did that. I overate. This is insanity. And so part of the black fatigue is the illogic that is spewed by all the people in high-profile positions in sports, in the media, high-profile black influencers over social media. The illogic is suffocating, and it's tiring, and it's creating a fatigue of like, hey, look, if they have a prominent position in the sports world, if they're on some mainstream media outlet, there's a good chance.
It's quite funny, you know. It's really quite funny. First, they cashed you out. You can't even get on a local television show. I mean, you're probably doing this in a expensive place that you would consider, I don't know, your own base or whatever, and you have to rent that shit out. Your little microphone or whatever, and you probably got what you call them, a producer or something like that, an engineer. Got your own little engineer, your own white engineer, your own white producer, and you're just going through the motions. But once you are cast out from even white society, you're all of a sudden you're a victim. All of a sudden you have the free reign to say whatever it is you like to say in your tiny little brain in your own little world, and you're broadcasting it, and the only people that you attract are people in your coon range. That's what I want to say. Coon range. That's what you attract. And it's quite interesting. It's quite entertaining.
Chance they're going to say something illogical, and I'm tired of it. And I don't blame white people for being tired of it, because I'm tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. And we'll get into this here in a second, but if you can show me white athletes consistently or even inconsistently saying stupid things about that are just illogical. If I'm trying to think, Tom Brady, I'm tired of being portrayed as a tall, good-looking white quarterback. I just don't hear that out of Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield, let's try this one. I'm tired of being portrayed as a hothead. He was a hothead, got run out of Cleveland and failed, and people, Colin Cowherd, others were calling him a hothead, had no emotional control. He had to fix that rather than lash out and say it was part of some racist conspiracy.
Okay, now he's doing fine in Tampa. Your point?
I want to show you another. I mean, because the fatigue is just overwhelming, and the lack of strategy, the illogic, the checkers move in a chess game from Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. I want to play SOT number 9, where she says that white people are inherently violent. Play the clips.
I mean, I'm not going to say that like a left-leaning person cannot be violent, because that would be like crazy to say that somebody can't be. But baby, y'all got the white supremacists galore, okay? Like all of them. You got the Proud Boys. You got the neo-Nazis. You have people that literally should be classified as domestic terrorists, because a lot of times that is what they are doing. They're engaging in domestic terrorism. And guess
So what she is saying, that's incorrect. What was wrong with her saying that? That's facts. What the young people would say, that's facts. It is actual factual. You got neo-Nazis, you got skinheads, you got the alt-right, you got all them people. You got Richard Spencer, you got Matt Walsh, the head of the Ku Klux Klan, you got the president of the United States of America and his damn daddy. I mean, damn. I mean, what is there not to be truthful about? This is all facts. But you cling to those people. So let's continue.
What they all align with your side, yeah, including the KKK. So, like, I mean, this is who aligns with that. So, like, inherently, in like who you are, y'all are violent.
This is so ill. Started by that she's a congresswoman, and she's presenting herself in this super ghetto fashion.
What?
If you're not, you living on.
What? So, I'm trying to think of the words I want to say with this ignorant ass bastard. So you're not going to acknowledge what she just said? You're not going to acknowledge about these racist redneck bastards. You're not going to acknowledge that. So by default, you cling to these neo-Nazis. Would it be safe to say that you're a neo-Nazi your damn self? Or you just get along with neo-Nazis? Didn't you not have a neo-Nazi on your show not too long ago? And what was his name? Jason Hayes or Jason Hack or whatever his name is? Trying to condemn Carmelo Anthony for defending himself? Quite interesting. God.
What? You can say, well, she's no different than Marjorie Taylor Greene. I guess you could make that argument, but don't buy it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, that kind of illusion. And Marjorie Taylor isn't doing some cosplay. You can videos of Jasmine Crockett sounding and presenting herself in a very intelligent, non-ghetto way.
So she is ghetto by the way she looks, the way she dresses, the way she walks, the way she talks, and possibly by the way she eats her food. I'm going to say this again. So Jasmine Crockett is this alleged ghetto, what do they call her? A ghetto hood rat Negro, peon that walks ghetto, talks ghetto, dresses ghetto. She has a wig on, a lace front, whatever, eyelashes, lipstick, rules on the cheekbones, or whatever. But she's a lawyer. She's a lawyer, a congressman, and she's from Texas. Why don't you debate her, Jason? You can't. Your fat ass can't even debate what. Your fat ass is the only thing that you can debate, Jason, is what to put on a fucking sandwich at Arby's or some shit. or fire subs or some fire subs is good. Fire subs or Subway or some shit. And look, you probably argue and debate all day what fucking snacks to consume. Just crack it. Colonize it. She's so ghetto. Just quick. Leave that lady alone. Don't. We can turn this professional. We can turn this into something else. You and Anton, both, y'all need to cut it out.
I want to, and I want to. I forgot to remind myself and forgot, but they've before I got sick last week, a gentleman sent me an email, and I was going to use it in the show, and my team has put it up in prompter for me. Thank you guys so much for having my back and covering for me when this is helping me make my argument. This and doesn't work now. So much more money for that than standing on some sort of biblical worldview or conservative worldview if you're Black. What you're left with is to be reviled even in your own family. And it creates a fatigue that is I sit and I'm looking at white people tweet out things, and I'm like, man, I got that same fatigue. And I saw.
You want to come up behind me and kick me in the back?
No, so he got you back. I don't know what's this.
Oh my God!
Hey!
Well, look at that again.
There's several of these. All they do is pump out Black idiocy videos, Black violence videos, Black yelling and screaming in public videos, Black women fighting videos. Here's the one that really caught my attention this weekend. I'm going to start with the worst case. This is SOT number 1. This is a young white boy on a playground. Looks like he's 10, 11, 12 years old. He tries to walk away from a fight. Watch this video. Play SOT 1.
You want to come up behind me and kick me in the back?
No, so he got you back. I don't know what's this.
Oh my God!
Hey! It's a sickening video.
Oh, please. There are way worse videos than I've seen in my life. There's a way worse. I mean, whatever happened to the three amigos, the three assholes fighting against one Black guy? If I pull up that video, which I am going to do, fuck it.
Happened in, I believe, Anderson, Indiana, in late April. It's a sickening video. Little chubby kid trying to avoid conflict, walking away. Some boy that wasn't even in the fight comes up in black from behind and cold cocks this dude, knocks him to the ground, bloodies his face and eye. Sickening. And I'm going to play you other videos, not as violent, not as bad as that one. But these are being passed around constantly, and people will say, hey, I've had it. These people are so undisciplined, so unfathered, no emotional control. I don't want to live around them. This is what white people are saying publicly. Black people say the exact same thing every time they get a raise on their job and move away from black people. Saying the exact, so the fatigue is everywhere. It has to be addressed. We're going to end up the new Native Americans. And I know many of you have bought the lie that, oh, these Native Americans, these Indians, they were so peaceful and they just wanted to be one with the earth. And these white evil people came and just took their land from them. And oh, they met the kind of, the Native Americans, all they just want to do is sit around and smoke a peace pipe and chill, hunt a few buffaloes. This is all lies. They were conquered. Like people have been conquered all over the world from the beginning of time. Advanced cultures come in and conquer, called scalp dance. It's written by, I think, Thomas Goodrich. It's an amazing book that fairly walks you through the history of this. And it describes in tremendous detail and fairness what was at the economy. And it wasn't of peaceful Native Americans just smoking a little weed, trying to kill buffalo and eat some buffalo and just hanging with their girls, and all these evil white people came. No, this was a savage culture that was incompatible with a more civilized culture. I'm not talking about white people being perfect, because they're not. But I'm talking about Christian culture as opposed to all the gods,
that ass up.
rather than people just smoking weed, sitting out under the moon, making up stuff. 2 or 3 of these a day, everywhere. Let's play shot number 2. This is one black women just nonchalantly robbing a Ross store. Play the clip.
Ladies, go out the store. Go out the store. Go out the store. Go out the store. Smile. Smile. They laughing. It's crazy.
Here, this next clip, here's some black women wrecking a convenience store. Let's play
How
shot
come
number
I
3.
don't never see this in my life?
You think I'm scared of 12 right now? We're in public. Bro.
Oh, you think that's bad? Ooh. Ooh. How come I never see that in my lifetime? I don't never see none of that shit in my lifetime. Ever. But I do see this. Oops, wrong one. I do see this a lot. Notice that there's one black guy there versus 2 ugly ass white boys. Whoa! Oh! Not Not one, not two, but three. Why do you have to have three? It really doesn't matter because I'll knock all three of you to fuck out. I wish I was there, boy. I wish I was there. Let's do that. Knocking you. There you go. There you go. Hey, you tried all we could. So you have not one, not two, but three white boys attacking this poor black man. And you're tired? You're tired. What about the KKK that keep coming up to the Capitol and complaining, America is not for us anymore. The white man is no longer. Screw that. Why do we have to hear you anymore? Why? It's this is. Oh, I should have had this clip ready. Oh, wait a minute. Let's run this back. Hold on. Let's run this shit back. One, two. So he's doing all he can. Call them a nigger. I'd have pulled back my ponytail. And it got to dancing. In a familiar truck. How ironic that white folks just come in a big old pickup truck. And I don't see you complaining about that. I don't get clips on. You don't do clips on this. Hold on. This is going to be a real. Hold on. You talk about how black people act. Let's see what you said. White people are so innocent and so pure. Wait. Hold on. This was July 2029. Even though, let me see. White supremacists everywhere. Roll to the right. If that was me, hey. Two. Now there's three. I'm surprised there wasn't four. I would have been smiling from ear to ear if it was four. Now, what he did wrong in this situation, don't take the guy out in the middle. Never take the guy out in the middle. always, if you got, because you got one, you got the one in the middle. He's a decoy. Do not take the guy in the middle unless you're Michael Jai White and using the two knuckles, right? And you're that fast, take the white boy out in the middle. And now you got the two white boys on the side. I would usually take the one that's closest to me, take his leg out. And now you got two. You got the white boy in the middle, do whatever you can. But if you get overwhelmed, do what you got to do. Pick up at that point, if it's 4-on-1 or if it's 5-on-1, at that point, pick up a stick, do what you got to do. Pick up a stick, pick up something. I wouldn't pick up a knife or anything because we're really too far. I don't want no knife. A gun is too, I ain't talking about no guns. A gun is too easy. Gun is too easy because they'll scatter like water bugs. No, I want you right there where I can end you. Right there. I mean, look at this. Where's the family? Where's the family for this? Where's the family? He did what he could. He knocked him over. And being called in it. Now, why the dog? I would have kicked the dog. Did you hear it? If that was me, I'd have drove up, would have ran, possibly would have ran one of them over. Because it's 3 against 1. I would have so much fun. So much fun. Indeed. All I gotta do is just tie my hair back and just let the punches flow. Like Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? I would have snap back. Oh, yeah. You know what? I gotta get into fighting shape. Because I have to prepare myself for when I have to bust a couple of crackers upside the head. You know what I'm saying? That, we don't talk about that. I mean, Jason Whitlock can do this all day long, but, black women, they don't know how to control themselves. White boys don't know how to control themselves. They just don't do it now because they believe that, the white men don't exist anymore. Our numbers are dwindling. But yet you have other people to do your dirty work for you. Make that make sense. This was a great clip. This was an awesome clip. Proves my point anyway. But we don't like playing stuff like that. Ahmaud Arbery. You remember Ahmaud Arbery, right? Ran across his truck, was well, anyway. I mean, yeah, people like Jason Whitlock don't care. He's a Christian. I didn't know Christians were violent.
I hear the complaints. This isn't the majority of black people.
It's not.
And it's not. But when white people were saying, hey man, this ain't the majority of cops. And you know, a lot of these cases, George Floyd, he died of a drug overdose. George Floyd brought this on himself. But
George Floyd died of an overdose after a year, after a whole year. So the police officer just happened to be on his neck. You know, oh, I can't breathe. Oh, I can't breathe. Even if he had drugs in his system, which pretty much wouldn't be a whole lot, even if it were menthol, whatever it was, the cop was still on his neck. 8.4 seconds, or 8 minutes and 4 seconds. 8 minutes and 4 seconds. You think in 8 minutes and 4 seconds I'm gonna still be breathing after you've been on my neck for that long? And I tell you to get up and you don't get up? That's an excuse. You
want to pretend like Derek Chauvin represented all of white America and all white men. And none of you, virtually none of you, raised your voice and said, hey man, this is some BS. Derek Chauvin was on the scene of a drug overdose, and this idiot George Floyd brought it on himself. And even me saying that 5 years later, many of you are irate. How dare you? St. George Floyd. Derek Chauvin's the worst animal on the planet. You're still under that mass psychosis. You're still telling yourself that lie. But all the police-involved shooting videos, they've disappeared. How come? But they got a daily supply of the unfathered acting like wild animals. And everybody's in denial that there's a consequence. Do we have the over the shoulder, the unfathered? That there's a consequence. Having all of these unfathered people running around, all of these people that come from a single parent home, grandmama raised home.
Again with the damn statue. Please remind me why we're tripping over a freaking statue. Because it's it represents the worst of us. How? She's overweight, so. Look at her hair, so. What does that mean? Can she cook? Can the average black woman cook, clean, and fuck? Let me not say that word. Can the average woman cook, clean, and make love? Have sex? Whatever. Can she appeal to your intellect as well as you appeal to hers? What is the freaking deal? Trev is one of the most calculating, let me be positive, he's intelligent. He's one of these intelligent brothers on the Lapeef show, right? But his ideas to me, they're not wrong, but they're not right. It's more of a half-ass presentation. He gives a half-ass presentation of the black community, because the only thing he says is, when it comes to that damn statue, which is, it's not a big deal. I just don't see that. I just don't see the issue. I don't see the issue at all. But apparently everybody else has a problem with it. Just because some British person put it up for his expression. He wants to express himself. Don't nobody say nothing about the Statue of Liberty, but everybody has everything to say about this damn statue. You didn't wait. Speaking of the Statue of Liberty, no one said anything about the Statue of Liberty as of late. Because it's a white woman. No, that's a black woman. I don't see white woman in chains. I have never seen a white woman in chains, in shackles. Please, escort me to those so many centuries ago of the Statue of Liberty of a white woman being in shackles. I mean, a white woman being in shackles during them eras, not the Jim Crow era, but you know, when were our ancestors freed in 1865? During that time, could you tell me the one white person, the one white woman that was in shackles or in chains? You can't do it.
Act like there's no consequences to this. When this book is quite clear, the Bible is quite clear. What it believes in a nuclear family, mom and daddy raising them kids, and we act like 80% of these kids growing up in single-parent homes, there's no consequences to that. Yes, there are clear consequences, and we look at it every day, and we just want it to go away magically rather than address the root cause of that problem. And it's the rejection of the nuclear family, the rejection of marriage, the rejection of God's covenant that he designed for man, woman, and himself. And we've rejected that.
Let's not put God into this because clearly you don't abide by his commandments either. When you were talking shit about the Ball family all them years, and you was talking shit about Dwayne Wade at that time, you were talking shit about LeBron James, and clearly this is one of the reasons why you got casted out. And all of a sudden, you want to read scripture. You want to quote scripture. A woman may say, a black woman had said something to you that you didn't like, and all of a sudden you got you want to chastise her. If you don't get a freaking clue, maybe it's a simple fact that a black woman does not want to be with you for whatever reason. There are 7 million black people on this planet. So you can't find not one single black woman to be around with. You have to point to the negative demographics of a black woman. Shameful. But you want to talk shit about Jasmine Crockett. Where's your blood, God-giving, warm-hearted Christian? Where's your bleeding heart for her? And you're a so-called Christian. Shut your ass up with that. Knock it off.
And we're good with the consequences, even though our kids are completely out of control.
And stop blaming black women, single black women, for assuming that they're terrorizing the earth with all these people all these kids who are out of control. First of all, not everybody possesses the knowledge that certain people possess. That's number one. Number two, where were the fathers? The fathers were either not in the home because of certain circumstances, which one would happen to be they're in jail, they're in the army and the military, or and they're they're sick, they're dying, it's so many different scenarios. And the woman does what she has to do. But quite frankly, you're sitting up here and saying that you're blaming the black woman for all this thing, and she does more than you. She does everything she has to do to keep that child upright, and you have a problem with that? Women multitask. When does a man ever multitask? We're simple-minded. When does a man ever multitask? Doing two jobs, that's not multitasking. That's going from one job to the next job to support what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to support his family. But we're arguing what? That the root cause of the nuclear family. I don't care about those words or those sentences. That's almost like patriarchy shit to me. But let's just keep it there. If you're gonna blame the single black woman for breaking up the nuclear family, then we have to blame you for all the drugs that came into our communities and you selling them to youth kids. We have to hold you accountable for that. We have to hold you accountable for all the gangster shit that ever happened in this community. We need to hold you accountable for that. Women didn't start that. You start. Man starts 90% of the shit that goes on around this country. Even though we don't have boats, we don't have planes, we don't have ships to float and fly and float that shit in here. We don't supply the drugs. White folks do. But as soon as white folks left, you grabbed it, picked it up, and you used it for whatever petitional purposes you used it for. You sold it to the wrong people, or you used it mainly on our women, and our women turn into fucking zombies. That's on y'all. That is on you. If you're gonna blame the women, you're gonna blame all women, all black women, all single black mothers for the destruction of the black family, then we must blame you for 90% of the shit that's been happening in this country. Contributing to the drugs, the alcohol, the miscarriages. We gotta blame me for all of that stuff.
And they're incompatible with a society that wants and believes in the nuclear family. Let's play. This is just, it's not divided towards white people, and I could have shown video after video of that. We can't get along with each other. Here's some Frontier Airlines. No. I want Spirit Airlines. I want to play side number 5. Spirit boys, they hit each other. Play the clip.
Go suck another dirty dick. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. Do not play with me, because I'm not the one nor the two. You're not one or the two. Let's go. You ain't got to. You ain't got to name my ticket. I got to my phone. No, some reason. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here before I slap the shit out of you. You're not going to smack shit. Charlie. Drop the ass.
Now, off a handful of...
How often does that happen, Jason? How often does that happen? I believe I'm talking to... First, I believe I'm talking to a person that just sees one thing. He's very selective in what he sees. Selective outrage. He sees one thing that happens a very small percentage of the time, and he takes it in and makes it larger. This is the problem in our community. It's gonna happen, and we can't stop that from. I can't selectively go to this person and say, "Hey, don't fight." They're gonna look at me like, "What are you talking about? You're gonna fight. I know it." I'm like, "Are you high?" They're gonna look at me. "Are you high?" I think that's what he wants to do. If it happens, listen. If fights happen, we try our best to try to break it up or whatever, and let the chips fall where they may. Hell, I tried breaking up a fight last week. My wife said no. Like I said, there were two people bucking in the streets, and I was like, "I'll be right back." She said, "No, don't you get out this car."
Videos
just
showing the police turning a little aggressive with some resisting criminal. We created a national holiday, Juneteenth. People got promotions on their job. People got opportunities that they hadn't earned. Everybody knows that in the aftermath of George Floyd, white guilt run amok. You get this TV show, you get this job. We're doing this on our job. You get this day off. We're doing diversity, equity, and inclusion.
So what the fuck does this have to do with a fucking statue? He's rambling on and on and on and on. What the hell does this have to do with a fucking statue, dude?
And how to be anti-racist. People making millions off of books, all of this stuff. All off the back of George Floyd and a couple other career criminals who had black fatigue. Here's look at this is on Mother's Day. Yesterday was Mother's Day. Look at me playing checkers and you're angry. And when you see a white person, you go, "Oh, that white person, they had a father. I hate them." And so you start treating them like this Frontier Airlines employees. Could you imagine being on your job, knowing someone's holding up a camera, videotaping you? You got your camera out, videotaping them. Could you imagine behaving this way? Let's play SOP number 4.
Like you did. Oh, you're gonna check me in.
I paid for a ticket.
And you I paid for agent assistant, and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that I.
Get on your flight.
Yeah, I just said that I would pay the $25.
And you thought you were gonna get on your flight. And you thought you were gonna get on your flight. And you thought you were gonna get on your flight. And you thought you were gonna get on your flight.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
Because it's a policy. We don't control that.
And you will never fly.
You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in, and you decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for.
Angry. And I don't know these women personally. They may have had the greatest fathers in the world. I doubt it, but they may have. I do know there's a culture, baby mama, matriarchal culture, that black people.
Was that the entire video that he played? No, he just played a snippet. Why don't we play the entire video, right? Play the entire video. And these camera phones are starting to get on my nerves, but I mean, you can use them for good. You can use them for good, and you use them for some other shit. But correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't that white boy have his camera out? And so the ladies, they had their cameras out. You record me, I record you. It is what it is.
People are herded into like cattle, and they're gate kept, and they're policed into.
I'm still not in tune of why do you still have this statue? Are you trying to say that this statue is a representation of Black America? So you're going to take the worst side of us and you're going to make content on it. Not the hell with the positive side. Positives don't mean anything. Oh, Jasmine Crockett, she doesn't count because she's ghetto and she doesn't like Trump. Ain't she a Democrat? Don't most Democrats fight with Republicans every single year? Ain't that the norm? But if it was a regular white woman, we would be calling her, this Hillary Clinton is the best thing since sliced bread. But as soon as a woman of color, and I hate that term, as soon as a Black woman comes in and she's ghetto, she look at her hair, nigga, get out. You hate yourself. You really do. I understand. You hate the way you look. You hate the way how you're represented. I wouldn't like me either. I would not like me. If I talk like I would not like me either. Maybe you should change your situation. I don't know. But Jasmine Crockett, you trying to body shame her. Look at you. Let's not do the body shaming, sir. Sir. Let's not do that. Let's not body shame. I may not understand fully about Jasmine Crockett, but I do know what has been reported, that she is very successful in what she has done, and that's not positive. That's not the norm. Wow. And that's not reported on either, that she's a successful lawyer and she's for the Senate. I don't know. She's from Texas. That's all I know. What do we say about Mrs. Waters? She's a Democrat, and I forgot her first name, but we don't even talk about Mrs. Waters. We don't even talk about Al Green. Oh, they're Democrats. Oh, okay. It don't count. It don't count in your repertoire. I get it.
And the strong, angry, stand up for herself black woman. I don't need no man, Black woman. She rules.
Here we go with the stereotypes.
Everything. And these women are behaving in a way that brings honor to Black culture. That's no different, or it's just a different form of Native American culture, a savage culture. No emotional control. No ability to look.
Wait, what are you trying to say about Native Americans now?
Look at others, hey, that's my Christian brother, and I'm going to treat them like my Christian brother. I'm going to treat them how I want to be treated.
Okay, now I get it. Now I get his shtick. Now I get his shtick now. I want everybody to be Christian and get along with God and shake hands with the white man all day. Excuse me, shake hands with our oppressors. I get it. You're not oppressed anymore.
On and saying, I want you to watch these teachers attempt to stop.
I don't even know why I'm long-winded with this. This is probably, I just want to see this and I'm going to quit.
Young unfathered girl, speculation on my part, lose her mind and try to destroy another student, place thought number 6.
That's old.
Complain all you want. What about Brett Favre? Oh, it's just money. If they had more money, how many rappers with gold chains and cash in their pocket have?
Hold up. What about what is his name? Prokowski. Wait, Romanov Rakowski, who was spitting in the face of black people. The one that played for the Oakland for the Los Angeles Raiders at that time, and he was spitting in the face of black people. What happened to that? Brett Favre and his bullshit. Whatever happened to that? Aaron Rodgers and his bullshit. Whatever happened to that? Rosterberger. Ben Rosterberger allegedly sexually assaulting 2 white women at a club that was dusted under the rug. I could go on and on with this shit. Oh, how about the one white boy that beat his black girlfriend damn near half to death? What is your complaint, sir? Sir, what's your complaint?
To die, have to be involved with violent crime. Money ain't fixing this. Only a set of values will fix this. Only marriage and the nuclear family will fix this.
Wrong. First of all, marriage ain't gonna fix nothing. If we can't get along with each other, what the hell is marriage gonna do? If we can't find a suitable mate for one another, what the hell do you think marriage is gonna do? What's going on? If you are non-approachable, people often think nowadays that you're supposed to, when you approach that guy, right? Or rather, well, let's start there. If you approach that guy, right, and it's supposed to be that guy and that guy only. If she don't like you, she don't like you. But let's just say y'all go out on one date, right? And maybe the vibe is not as flowing as you would hope it to be, and at the end of the day, you say, well, it didn't quite work out, so, but we can remain friends if you like. She ain't calling you that day, bro. So you're supposed to what? Go to the next and the next. But it's reported that, you know, women are hoes because they rapidly date, not rapidly, but they date multiple people. That's what you're supposed to do, right? They date multiple people to see if one will actually fit your program. Did I get that wrong? I mean, I did that and I found my bride. Been married to her for damn near 16 years, been with her for 28 years. That's what you're supposed to do. I guess. But different strokes for different folks.
They won't allow you to have this conversation on mainstream TV. They've hired a bunch of puppets.
No.
You're
not gonna lie.
Racism is racism.
You're not gonna lie. Jason Lee Peterson speaks up for you. Jason Lee Peterson has gone to plenty of platforms on different podcasts and different shows and spoke up for y'all. At least he's consistent. I will give the brother that. I don't even know why I call him the brother. And he might be gay, by the way, allegedly. But he's been speaking for y'all. He's speaking because he likes to connect to white people and say that we need to connect to God. He's spoken up for you. That's the only person I can think of. He's actually consistent. He is constant. I have to give the brother that. He is very constant. He has never wavered from the nonsense that he speaks every day. He believes what he believes, and I can give him that. Unlike some people who likes to flip flop every now and again. Again, I like racism in my face. So we can expose you for who you truly are. Get out the closet. And I am so glad that some of these white folks are just out the god closet. It is so refreshing. As a matter of fact, we have a suspected white supremacist exposing you for the person that you truly are. And it is so damn funny. It is so freaking funny. I don't even want to play that shit. Let me see if I can find it. Because some of these white supremacists need to be exposed. They do. They need to be exposed, and they need to be exposed immediately. I'm tired of these in the closet freaks. And I'm not talking about the gays. I'm talking about the in closet race. The ones that like to stab you in your back. Well, I didn't know that was out. I didn't know that came out. Let's see. Oh, and these four agates, I'll get to them later. I will definitely get to them later. Oh, and I want to review this again. Bear with me. It's I can't understand this for the life of me either. But it's entertainment. So let's get entertained.
Obvious. Yes. In a moment of anger. That doesn't excuse it, Matt. And it wasn't just a moment of anger. As we heard her say, well, if he's going to act like an N-word, I'm going to call him an N-word, is what she said. That means that's what she already thinks of black people. That is how she has internalized the idea of blackness. That is what you are trying to counter and defend as being, well, it's just a moment of anger.
Damn!
Does this person deserve to die for this? No. But, say it with me now, Joker voice, we live in a society. I believe there should be social consequences and social ostracization for antisocial behavior like this. If this woman is getting called out and harassed because she is at her core a hateful piece of shit, I can stand back and say, well, I'm not going to harass her. But if other people want to use their free speech to let her know that they're not fucking okay with her, that should be their right. But oh no, this far outweighs the... No, Matt, that's how it's supposed to work. That's how the social contract works. If you're doing something nobody else likes, motherfuckers need to let you know. But he wants people to be able to skate by without those kind of social consequences. That is how the ideas that he supports continue to thrive.
And we all know how this script ends. The offender, in a desperate attempt to call off the dogs, tearfully apologizes and begs for mercy, a mercy that they surely will not receive. Because Shiloh Hendricks did not apologize. Instead, she posted a crowdfunding campaign on Give, Send, Go, where she doubled down and defended and asked for help to relocate and get safety.
This issue is so transparent from Matt that you can just go and check on all the things. You're like, oh, it seems that you're just, you peel back a layer, you're just supporting system. Because he's praising, oh yeah, no, she's up. My name is Shiloh, and I've been put in a very dire situation. I recently had a kid from my 18-month-old diaper bag at a park. I called still up. I called the kid out for what he was.
You know how often that Tariq Nasheed would say, you got to call out the white supremacists for who they are. This is a demonstration of this dude here. I don't want to get into it, but I'm just gonna say it like this. This guy is calling out a head member of the Ku Klux Klan. He's calling them out, and yet expressing how dangerous this person and this situation, how it is, and he is exposing it. Now, if you could get people like this to do that to the above average, everyday white supremacist, why the fuck not?
She thought that was an acceptable way to label a child. And by extension, Matt, in supporting this GoFundMe, and not, she doubled down. Matt is also supporting it.
A different group formed to counter the outrage mob. They started donating to her campaign, and she surpassed her original funding goal in less than a day.
What's that other group?
My side feel, to put it scientifically, this whole thing, and icky. I understand why they don't want to condone saying racial slurs to children. I don't want to condone it, and I don't, and nobody really does.
By you praising this woman, you are praising her actions. By you supporting her, standing up to the cancel culture mob, you are supporting the thing that brought down this cancel culture mob upon her. By using her down for supporting her. Oh, please do.
First of all,
please do, buddy.
She does have a legitimate need for the money. The mob is truly trying to get her killed. I don't believe that a woman should have her life threatened for saying a word, even a bad one. And you could say freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences for your speech all you want. But if losing your life,
there's no proof of any of this. She hasn't come forward with any proof of this kind of harassment. I'm not saying she's not getting harassed. I've seen people, but it is completely wrong of what I would think is completely fucking acceptable social consequence. And you are free to say whatever you want. You are not free of the social consequences.
Consequence of your speech, then you do not have free speech. So free speech means supporting.
Okay, her family isn't being murdered for it. Next fucking point, Matt. Like, what? I don't know what grand fucking brilliant brain maze you think you're leading everybody on. It's so obvious that he arrived at the conclusion the second this happened, by the way. There was no like, I really be a principle. Maybe this is the thing to do. It's like, no, he started out like, yes, I'm going to defend. There's no evidence that her home is going to be burned down. There's very little evidence that she was forced to flee, which apparently incited raising $500 million.
I may add that I didn't know $700,000 was because your life was on the fritz, and that people were attacking you. And they're like, okay, where's the reports? Where's the reports that your house has been burned down? Where's the reports that you were being harassed physically? Where were they? But white folks paid you, and certain Negroes paid you, and you're trying to compare apples to oranges with the whole the Carmelo situation, which is quite sad in itself, by the way. But hey, this is white privilege. I'm white, and I say so.
The most devastating attack on cancel culture that we have seen, possibly ever.
And cancel culture. Again, you'd think that Matt might consider for a moment who he is allying himself with when he's talking about, oh, these are the people who are finally ending cancel culture. 1776, Exodus 2015. Average white man gave 1488. White Lives Matter, 1488. Tired of this N-word BS. Accepting an alliance from to cancel culture.
Oh, wait, and this is the part that many conservatives seem to be missing. All they see is that this woman said something bad and is now rewarded for it.
I can't help but notice that he hasn't mentioned what she actually said since the very beginning, where he couldn't not read it, but he just keeps saying, "Oh, she did a boo-boo. She didn't know. She said something bad." Because again, I feel like he's wanting to forget what she actually said by this point. And so bullshit that I think he's hoping that even them will be like, "Yeah, I guess it wasn't really that bad." Silent Tremor. What is 1488? The 14 words, which is, we must secure a future for our children or whatever the fuck, which is a Nazi slogan, and then 88 assigned to the 8th letter of the alphabet being H, so it's HH Heil Hitler. Not great at, I don't know what you want to say.
Point is that the only way to put an end to this routine, the routine where the outrage mob and assembles to destroy somebody's life, is to disincentivize the routine. And the only...
So again, he acknowledged this is the consequences of somebody exercising their free speech. But I want you for a moment, because I know he knows he's exaggerating. This woman and her family might be really killed and have house burned down. The fuck, come the fuck on. I know he knows he's exaggerating that shit, but to that point, I want you to consider for a moment, if yelling at a child, like I said, if yelling at call the N-word repeatedly as a definition of their personhood, not as just an insult, not as just a whoopsie, not as just a slip of the tongue, saying if they're going to act like an N-word, I'm going to call them an N-word. A definition of their behavior, of their existence as a human being, dehumanizing them. A bit of criticism from Matt. Because he hasn't. I want you to notice, he hasn't. He said, yeah, like, I judge, he wouldn't have said something in anger. He's done everything in his fucking power. Vocalize the idea that, like, just like a regrettable little slip-up whoopsie-doodle. This is the gall to write a movie and name it Am I Racist? Bro. Huh?
None of that will stop them. Only that can stop them. The only thing that will make them think doing this is if they know that their target is important even than the money.
His argument here framed in grand notion of what conservatives as where God lose his entire career over it because it happened 30 years ago. Like this is yeah, you're fucking horrible fucking right now. The world run according to people like you, Matt. You don't have enough consequences. What's happening? But his solution to that, for when already don't face enough consequences, is that, well, if we pay people who are racist a better outcome than anybody facing any kind of social scrutiny or pushback for being a piece of shit.
Think of it this way. Justine Sacco was widely considered the patient zero of cancel culture. Back in 2013, she was a flight to Africa when she told that she hoped she wasn't AIDS when she gets to Africa. And when she landed hours later, you're probably familiar with the story.
I'm not.
She discovered that God was over.
Ever the master of the false equivalent. See, he is now saying that very tasteless joke. Age is something that a lot of Africans still struggle with. People die all the fucking time over there. People suffer and live with it all the fucking time over there. Is it a good joke? No. Is it racist? A little bit. Is it tasteless? Most definitely. Is it different than a woman dehumanizing a child? Yeah, Matt. It is. You're right. It is different.
The fact of all this and all this going on is that we'll look at different clips, see what I can get from all this, and some is pretty much I get some sentiments of, say, Brandon's clips. I mean, I agree and I disagree a lot with Brandon. The Jason Whitlocks of the world, not so much. Matt Watsh is, we all know who he truly is. The only thing that I definitely appreciated is Ibraham Troar'e. I definitely like where he is going. I like where Africa is going. Right? But if the Muslim community, the Abraham community, is truly trying to, kill the movement, kill the vibe, and we have to be supportive of our African captain brothers and sisters over there in Africa. That's what we have to do. Support. Like we support the channel. We-On-Loc Nation channel. Support. We have to support the Mahogany channel. We support what did I say? Oh, Brownie's channel. Because she's up to 1,000 right now. Almost up to 1,000. And I keep supporting until we, I mean, hey, if it's money that is an issue, we support her with our voices. At least. This is We-On-Loc Nation. Nation. Damn, I got something stuck in my. Sorry about that. This is the We-On-Loc Nation channel. And I am out. Peace.